data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with AutoPay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
You were supposed to get a colon cancer screening, but stuff came up.
We did have to pick up the twins from practice.
But on the way, we hit a giant pothole.
If you are 45 and older, don't let stuff get in the way of your screening. Visit the Colorectal Cancer Alliance at ccalliance.org.
When you switch to Progressive, you could save bundling your home and auto. Then you could put that money towards some of the surprisingly more expensive things in life.
May I help you?
I just wanted to request a late checkout, please.
Of course. That's $30 per hour for up to 4 hours.
Huh. Okay, but if you can offer a late checkout, then that probably means no one is staying in that room. So if it's empty, maybe I can just stay a few extra hours.
Oh, aren't you adorable?
Life costs a lot, so bundle and you could save with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Today is a WRAL weather alert day. We'll see rain steady to heavy through the afternoon, along with some thunderstorms. We could see 1.5 inches of rain for it today, with a high of 73. We do have a flood watch that's in effect through tomorrow morning. 65 tonight, and another inch of rain tomorrow with a high of 80 degrees.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 1,091 points to 42,341. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Wilson in on a break. Andersen with the save. Now Svechnikov comes in off the drop, and he scores off the face-off. Carolina, they score on the power play. And Roslovic back in the series and on the board. Helps lead this across. Robinson, he goes under the crossbar and scores. Blake tries a chance and he scores. Jackson Blake deflects it past Logan Thompson.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox producing the show. And no, we are not outside the Lenovo Center on the plaza.
Yeah.
But that just means the Canes are going to have to keep winning so we get more home games so we can be out at the plaza getting everybody ready for more postseason games. It's a weather thing. That's the only reason we're not out at the Lenovo Center out there in the Party Plaza having a good time.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed, it's raining.
It's raining, but the good news is they do play hockey inside. So Game 4 will go on tonight. 7 o'clock right here, 99.9 The Fan. Monday Soundoff will go on today. We will open up the phone lines for your takes. Canes takes, obviously. Game 1 winning takes. 4-0 shutout takes. What did I say? Game 1?
Yeah.
I'm excited. Game 3 winning takes. 4-0 shutout takes. At 3:30, we will open up the phone lines. So bookmark the Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326 for Monday Soundoff coming up in about a half hour. First goal score predictions next hour. And the Canes talk starts right now in this hour. Game 3, 4-0 win. I have to admit, they had me in the first half. Watching the first half, I was going, I don't know. The Canes don't seem to be as locked in as they were in Washington. And then the switch happened. And I went, never mind. They're good. They end up scoring 4 goals. There's to me, 3 names that I think are most responsible for that win being as dominant as it was. 3 names. For very different reasons, by the way. The first one is Frederik Andersen. That one's obvious, right? When you end a playoff game as the goalie and the opposing team had not scored a goal and the crowd is chanting your name, something good happened. So we'll talk about Frederik Andersen, but
especially when you're stopping breakaways 30 seconds into a game.
And that's the other part of it, is he was kind of the spark. You know, it's one of those things where it's kind of like your safety in football leading you in tackles. It's like, I like it for you, but I don't want my safety leading him in tackles. Like, Freddie was the spark. He made the first couple of big plays for the Canes, which is great for Freddie. I'm happy for him, right? He did what he needed to do to help his team, but I really don't want my goalie to make the first couple of big plays. I don't want him to have the opportunity to make the first couple of big plays. Like, I don't want my safety to have the opportunity to lead my team in tackles. And then there was the play that kind of turned everything, right? And I'm calling it like a section. There was the Martinook. Jordan Martinook's one of the other 3 guys that I mentioned. Jordan Martinook's hit on Wilson, put him on his keister, knocked him on his rump, whatever you want to say, put him on his back, and then Svet scoring the first goal. Freddie, awesome. The Martinook to Svet play there is exactly what we were talking about on Friday. If you remember, we had a conversation on Friday about, we were obviously nitpicking because the Canes were 1-1 coming home after starting their first 2 games on the road and taking home ice back. But the thing that felt absent in the first 2 games was what I was calling the second O. Right? And I the only way I could describe it was leaning on the And One mixtape tour from back in the day, where Hot Sauce would cross somebody over and they'd fall and the crowd would go, oh! Talk about street ballers. And then he would throw the alley-oop. And the dunk was the second O, right? It'd be, oh, and then the place would go nuts, right? And if they missed the alley-oop, or if you cross somebody over and missed the jump shot, you never got the full satisfaction of the second roar from the crowd. The Martinook-Wilson hit, to me, was the crossover. Right, it was the play that got everybody excited, and all they needed was somebody to catch the alley-oop and yam it home, and that is exactly what Andrei Svechnikov did off of a not great face-off, but he gets the puck and he finds a way to put it into the back of the net, and that was the dunk that sent the crowd into hysterics, and then from that point on, it was quicksand for Washington. The harder they struggled, the more difficult it was for them.
That whole shift, you're talking about the Martinook kick, that whole shift, especially after Rod switched up the lines. Mm-hmm. It was Stahl, Martinook, and Carrier. That whole shift. And like you said, the hit by Martinook was just part of it.
Yep.
And everything seemed to flip right there because I think the whole crowd started to sense like, okay, now we're in this thing. Like that's the Canes hockey, that dominant style of play that we're used to seeing. There it is. And then, like you said, Svetch capped it off with the baby.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
what it was.
Oh, baby. Andrei Svechnikov, my godson. Like it felt like you needed the street ball broad or the on court, I guess it would be on ice in this scenario, MC just to get the crowd into a frenzy. And Svet in the postgame talked about the importance of having that first goal of the game for him and his team.
Yeah, very nice. Just lead the way 1-0. I think that's huge, especially when it's kind of 0-0, tight game, and you score a goal, and that team kind of, gives up a little bit. But they played great, and we give them credit. Our first kind of period was a little bit sloppy, but we came hard on the second period, and just continue doing that.
Yeah. I think it was that important. I think it was that exciting. I think it was that meaningful of a goal. And then you build off of it, right? And you build off of it, and you build off of it until it's 4-0. And breaks seem to go your way, right? People that say momentum doesn't exist, they never played any kind of sports because it absolutely does. Roslovic on the power play? Dennis, explain to me, because I know we were talking about it and you were all fired up about it. How, like, if you're Roslovic, what do you look at for that goal? Like, what do you take away from it?
So his power play goal?
Yes.
In what sense?
Like,
just, hey, you know what? I got nothing else. Just throw it on the net.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was very much a let's see what happens here, and it ends up a goal. That's the type of momentum stuff, right? When things are going your way, that puck finds its way into the net. When things aren't going your way, I mean, it doesn't even sniff the net, right? The goalie like laughs at you while he makes the stop. But because the quicksand was already eating up Washington, Thompson's going to let that one through.
Yeah, that was a soft one by Thompson. But hey, I'm not going to complain.
Not at all.
Not even
a little bit.
I'm not going to give it back.
Why would I? Erik Robinson scores a beauty of a goal.
Oh,
right. Whoever out there, right? People always say on their bingo cards on your bet slip, if you had Jack Roslovic with a power play goal and Erik Robinson with a beauty, that is one of the best predictions I've ever heard. If you nailed that one pregame. The others, quote unquote, stepped up because we're going to talk about this. Do you know who has not scored a single goal in this series? Ovechkin, Aho, Jarvis. Those are, you could argue, the two best scorers on one team and the best scorer in league history on the other team. And through 3 games, they have not found the net. So you want to talk about a series being all about which team can be effective, not just the top guys, but top to bottom. This series has been that. Right? Who's quote unquote others can be the and by the way, I don't want to act like those 3 guys have done nothing, but you need other guys to step up and finish, step up and score. And they've done that.
Yeah, top guys for both teams haven't really done much of anything, if we're being honest. In terms of like the top line. Dylan Strome only has 1 assist the entire series. For Washington.
Svetch is sitting there like, what else do I have? 8 goals or 6 goals through 8 games. What else I got to do? But you are completely right, and it does put a spotlight on which teams. The others sound so derogatory. Not top guys, like which teams bottom 6, which teams whatever. The ones that aren't considered top guys have performed better, and I think in Game 3 it was obvious that the Canes had more others ready to capitalize on whatever opportunities presented themselves. And then yes, Freddie was awesome, right? Because I don't know if there's anything more obvious than when your goalie plays great, everybody just, it seems like they played better, right? We would be really upset at Kokiniemi, or we'd be really upset at some of these guys for their turnovers that gave up pretty good looks if Freddie didn't bail them out, right? So hopefully Freddie isn't paying for dinners for a while when he's out with the team, right? There are guys just like, no, Freddie, I got you. Like, hopefully that's happening because it was that good. He set the tone. Tom Galidi, apologize if I mispronounced that, from NHL.com. Just a couple stats on Freddie because I actually think the numbers do it justice. A lot of times the numbers don't. Freddie Andersen leads the playoffs with a .929 save percentage on high danger shots on goal.
Mm-hmm.
Per NHL Edge Advanced Statistics. He stopped all 21 Caps high-danger shots on goal in the second round, including 9 in the 4-0 win in Game 3. 9 for 9 in stopping high-danger looks against a team that has a bunch of guys that are having career scoring years. A bunch of guys that came into the postseason for Washington. Goal looked like a soccer goal to them, and Freddie is doing what he's doing through 3. It's really impressive, and it makes everybody a little bit better looking. Right? Everybody on that team grading out a little bit better because no harm, no foul, right? Oh, you made a bad mistake, but it didn't give up a goal. Thanks, Freddie. Like, everything looks a little bit better. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Don't forget we have Monday Soundoff coming up, and the beauty of short layoffs, short breaks between games is we're just kind of digesting Saturday's win in Game 3. We have to get ready for Game 4 tonight at home at the Lenovo Center. We look towards tonight's game coming up next. But first, Dennis, do you have something for the people?
I do. Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Law Tigers. Folks, If you're a motorcycle rider, be cognizant of road conditions. Just want to throw that there. Obviously, rainy day out there today. I didn't take the motorcycle out because, don't be dumb. Don't be stupid when it comes to being on your motorcycle. Have some common sense when you're out there on the road. But even after, the rain washes away, make sure you still maybe look at road conditions. See what's around your neighborhood before jumping on the bike. We all know how things here are in the Triangle where you get some flooding in some different spots. You don't want to put yourself in a compromised position when you're out there on the road. But if you do get stuck in the rain, you're in a motorcycle, make sure that you are following in the proper lane or proper parts of your lane when you're riding. Do not ride down the middle of the lane. You ever get to a stop sign or a stoplight, and even in your car, you see all the spots and stuff in the middle of the lane? Well, that's oil and other fluids that are leaking from the engines and from the cars of other vehicles. You don't want that stuff on your tires. That's where you lose grip. That's where accidents can happen. But if you're injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you contact your insurance company. Law Tigers, they're riders too. They know what your bike is worth. They know what your gear is worth. They know what you're going through after an accident. That's why your case evaluation with them is always free, and they don't get a dime until your case settles. So call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, North Carolina's motorcycle injury lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, looks towards tonight's Canes game against the Caps. Game 4, Canes lead the series 2-1. And we have a Monday Soundoff coming up at 3:30, so gather your thoughts. We want to hear from you on the phone lines at 3:30. It's all coming up right here on 99.9.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina Playoff Edition. It's Game 4 with Washington.
Svechnikov scores! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6. Puck Drop at 7.
They score on the power play! And Roslovic back in the series and on the board.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Total Wireless is made to totally keep up with you. We have unlimited data that never slows you down, covered by the Verizon 5G network, and all for less than $30 a month when you get 4 lines. And the best part, we give you a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G when you switch to the 5G Unlimited or 5G Plus Unlimited plan. Visit your local Total Wireless store today. Total Wireless, we're totally with you. Actual speeds may vary by location. For data management practices, see TotalWireless.com.
It is I, Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. Yes, I am back in Raleigh. Do I go downtown with so many places to party? No, I go to the Shaki's place. The good food, the fine drinks, the coldest of beers, and of course, the many, many beautiful people. I always hang at the Shaki's place, the coolest bar in the world, because, well, it was built for me. Juan Carlos Santiago del Santiago, the coolest man in the world. The Shaki's place, 8800 de Raleigh Road by the Shelley Station.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Granger. Granger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom, and that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low fives, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLS ConsumerAccess.org.
Progressive knows there are some surprisingly expensive things in life, like fences. A house with a big yard and a white picket fence was always the dream. But then you saw the price to install a fence and you're wondering if the color is driving the price up. Nobody ever dreams of a beige or a gray picket fence, right? So maybe those fences are cheaper. But no, they're not. Then you remember that switching your home and auto to Progressive could save you hundreds and make all your dreams of a fence come true. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
And now coming the other way, here's Tom Wilson. Wilson in on a break. Andersen with the save. Oh, Mr. Andersen tested early, 30 seconds in, and comes up with an A-plus save.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Just about 10 minutes, a little bit more away from opening up the phone lines for a little Monday sound-off. We want your Canes takes as well as everything else going on in sports. There was a very big be careful what you wish for. You just heard the save 30 seconds in by Freddie. After that first save, I couldn't help it. My brain, my instincts went, you know what? I actually like that. I like that Freddie got the first, it's like, the first bit of contact for a football player. It's like, all right, first hit, he's awake, he's alive, he's feeling good. I don't hate that move.
Into it right away.
And then they kept testing him, and I was going, all right, guys, he's awake. We can chill now. He's proven that he's not in a slumber to start the game. The juices are flowing. We don't got to keep getting him tested. But it obviously the way the game went for Freddie was fantastic. I do think, and it hasn't really bit them too badly in this series, but goodness gracious, I would do. Like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? I would do some crazy stuff for a first period goal.
Hey, easy now.
I would do.
We have some SEC rules we got to follow.
I would do some crazy stuff. We're talking about, like, do you ever really use your little toe? Chop it off for a first period goal, right? It's those kinds of things. A first period goal for the Canes would be awesome. Starting fast would be awesome. Giving them that momentum as far as not just Freddie starting well. Obviously, 30 seconds in, he was playing well. But getting the skaters, getting those high leverage chances, finishing those chances early on in a game could really change some things. Here's Jalen Chatfield on their need and desire to have faster starts.
It's mental. I think we know that as a team. We didn't like our first, and I think it's right when the puck drops, being fully mentally engaged, ready to go, and just giving it our all. Like, sometimes you come out flat-footed, sometimes that happens, but we were able to get a win out of it, and we know we can do that, but you definitely don't want to start like that in playoffs, not especially against a team like this. So, it's coming in with the mindset, being fully prepared and ready to go right when the puck drops.
Because I don't even know if that's the right thing, because I don't want to accuse them of not being ready to go at the start. It seems like they're locked in and focused. It's I don't know, maybe like too much of a feeling out, too much of a overpassing a little bit early, too much of a it is the first round of a boxing match and you're just jab, and no one's throwing any real power punches. I think there's an opportunity to throw some power punches and maybe land a couple and get yourself out to that start.
Well, that's what Jacob Slavin actually talked about yesterday during media availability.
And do we have that sound as well?
We do.
Let's hear it.
For us, it would just be getting to our game right away, not tiptoeing into the game, not almost waiting around to see what kind of game it's going to be like, but just taking control right from the start, getting in. I mean, kind of the start that we had to game one, right? We were in, we were on, and we had 15 shots in the first period, so really just playing hard and making the coaching staff happy with what they're seeing on the ice.
Gosh, Slavin is a coach's dream, isn't it? He's just trying to make the coaches happy out there. Best defensive defenseman in the league. Shout out to Dylan, by the way, on Twitter. He said he'll cut off his pinky toe with me for a first period goal. That wasn't an official offer, just to, I don't want people.
I don't know. That's public record now.
I don't want the collectors coming around, but it's the thought that counts.
And get you a toe, dude.
It's the thought.
Get you a toe by puck drop.
It's the
with nail polish.
The thought that counts. And then there's the cap side of things, right? Because after the Canes won game 1, we anticipated game 2 being a more fiery Caps, and it was, right? They came out, they were more aggressive. After you go up 2-1, they're really backs against the wall now. And I'm still anticipating a few situations where the Caps try to lure the Canes into something or try to out-anger, out-physical. Like, I'm still anticipating the Caps doing that. This postseason hockey, right? Playoff hockey. Nobody's going to go away easily. So it becomes the challenge for the Canes tonight is matching the desperation level of a team that doesn't have to manufacture it at all, right? The Caps don't need to manufacture desperation at all because the outside factors and pressures are going to up their intensity for them. The Canes, with a 1-game lead, they've actually been playing better. Even if you total up all the periods, they've won a majority of them, and all these things. Just as far as like eye test and play level, they need to come out as desperate as the Caps. That's their challenge for today. Taylor Hall spoke with the media this week and agreed that the desperation level to get to 3-1 needs to match what it was on Saturday.
It's about just having a good start, a better start than we did last night, and just maintaining momentum throughout the course of the game. I think that's important for us. I guess you could say our last 2 home games, if you go back to the Jersey series, haven't been the best starts for us. So that'd be nice for us to just play the way we can on home ice and understand that this is probably the most important game of the series coming up right now.
If we talked to Taylor Hall before every game, do you think he would say this game is the most important game in the series coming up right here before every game? I do. And by the way, I think that's correct. And I think part of the athlete's challenge, part of the competitor's challenge is convincing yourself that every game. This is the most important game of the season, this next one. And then as soon as the buzzer sounds and that game is over, this next game we play is the most important one. And you have to believe that. That's where that desperation comes from. It's kind of, for those of you that have read the book Lone Survivor that the Mark Wahlberg movie is based off of, during the SEAL training process in the book, they talk about how you can convince yourself of to believe anything. Mm-hmm. So if they have to run a mile in wet and sandy clothes, they tell themselves this is the last one. This is once I'm done, I'm finished. Because no one ever quits on the last one. Then they finish, and they go, do it again. And the whole time they're running, they're like, this is the last one. Once I'm done, I'm finished. Once I'm done, I get to go to sleep. So they finish strong, and then do it again. But they convince themselves of it. Same thing. Not really, but same basic premise of this is the most important game. If we win to go up 3-1, it's the most important game of the season. If they win to go up 3-1, clinching this series in 5 is the most important game. If you lose, 2-2, even. Game 5 is the most important game. You have to convince yourself of it because it is for Washington, and you have to match that.
So the desperation, I asked Taylor Hall about that yesterday because he said, yeah, we were desperate to make it 2-1. And I asked him, so how do you match that desperation? That's the answer that we just played. But you can feel in the locker room talking to guys. We got a chance to talk to Chatfield, talked with Jarvis and a bunch of others. Is that I think they understand what they can do tonight in terms of, man, if we make this thing 3-1, we really put them against the wall, and then we can really finish. They know the opportunity that's in front of them tonight, and I think that's what the desperation is. It's like, guys, it's right there. Go take it.
Dare I say, pivotal game 4 tonight.
Pivotal game 4.
To take a commanding 3-1 lead. You're darn right it's pivotal. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Do you think it's pivotal? We'll open up the Heastra Automotive Group hotline right now for your Monday Soundoff. If it's pivotal to you, I want to hear why, or whatever else you want to say about the Canes, or what else is going on in sports. It's the beauty of a Monday Soundoff. You get to pick the topics. Heister Automotive Group hotline, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Phone lines open for your calls. And while you call in, while you collect your thoughts and get ready to call in, I'll tell you about Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. I was talking with the owner, Brett, a couple of weeks ago, and the part, like, you got to sometimes shake hands, look in the eye to really get a vibe for a company and how it's run from the very, very top. The word I walked away with was community. The word I walked away with, or another one, would have been cares. The amount of behind-the-scenes work that they put in to make sure they are absolutely prepared when one of their technicians steps into your home or steps into your yard to work on your HVAC, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. It is, I don't even want to say absurd. It is top-notch, right? It is top of the line how much training is going on, how much, quite frankly, hours and money their technicians are making when they're not out working on our homes to make sure they're ready for when their number is called. It is dramatic. It's a great time right now to start thinking about cooling maintenance. So if you are getting ready to run your cooling system a whole bunch, you want to give them a call. 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993 for Maynard Service Company. Also, check them out online, MaynardServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. It's time for a Monday Sound-Off. 919-860-5326 is the number to call if you want to jump on with us here on the radio. 919-860-5326. Phone lines are open. Monday Sound-Off coming up next.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 16th through 18th at the Carscott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a hockey champion, and when I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and a $6 Bloody Mary on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, get it delivered. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Soundstation and Security, your automotive and audio experts. Car audio, car video, home theater, wheels and tires, and so much more. Plus, did you know Soundstation and Security offers full service for your vehicle? Alignments, inspection, oil changes, window tinting, and custom exhaust. And with a variety of financing options, Soundstation and Security can help you get what you need today. 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Soundstation and Security. Visit myhotsound.com.
Nothing beats a Fairway Green lawn. We're with Kevin from Fairway Green. Not too early to get going, is it?
Now's a great time to go ahead and start with your first application of pre-emergent crabgrass control. That's going to help control that summer crabgrass that you see in many yards. Also, broadleaf weeds, they're constant year-round, so now's a great time to control those. And not to mention, if you have a fescue lawn, it's a good time to go ahead and put down a nice fertilizer to help it recover from the winter stresses.
Thanks, Kevin. Nothing beats a Fairway Green lawn. Get started at fairwaygreen.com or 919-329-0095.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. The owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Now Svechnikov comes in off the draw, and he scores! Off the face-off! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's time for all of you to pump it up. We have 3.5 hours of radio today. Dennis and I will pump it up for all but the next half hour. The next half hour is on you to pump it up. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open for a Monday Soundoff, 919-860-5326. If you don't get in because the lines are full, keep calling, 919-860-5326. First up, we have Tim in Franklinton. Wants to sound off on the Canes. Tim, great name, first of all. Second of all, go ahead and sound off.
Hey, yeah, I think tonight's the night where the big boys do step up. We've been getting that deep presence with the guys on the back end scoring the goals, our depth scoring the goals. Tonight, Jarvis, get ready. And Captain is going to do some damage tonight, too. I see Stahl just punishing that line. He's eating them up. They can't do anything with Martinook and Stahl. Tonight, guys. You know, I'm ready, boys.
Have you had the same realization that I think a lot of people have had this series, which is, oh yeah, Jordan Stahl is also really big, because so many people talk about how big Tom Wilson is, and then Stahl's out there like, what do you think? I'm short? Like, like the Canes have their big dudes also.
Hey, and I don't know if you saw the last game. There was one moment there. I was ready. I was supposed to be there Saturday night, and my ticket turns out being for Game 6. But when Burns came through and leveled Ovechkin, that's the hit I've been looking for. He's our big man. I would love to see Burns give him a little punishment too.
All right, Tim, I appreciate it, and I hate to say this, but if your tickets are for Game 6, I hope they don't work out for you because I want this one done in 5.
Hey. You know, it's more money for the next round.
All right, there you go. Appreciate the call, Tim.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh, that's both
sacrifice he's willing to make.
Yeah, hey, it's an emotional hedge, is what it is. It's an emotional hedge. Let's go to Edward and Wendell. Edward and Wendell on the Heister Automotive Group hotline, open for your calls, 919-860-5326. Edward, welcome to the show. Go ahead and sound off.
I think the Hurricanes have done good. Last week I said it needs to be a short series. I still think that. Nutchnikov, he's doing what he's doing because when he scores again, it's like electric. And then Jackson Blake, if he can keep scoring, that would be good too because then that shows that he knows what he's doing.
All right, Edward. Hey, you know you're always welcome on the show. Love the well thought out takes. Call back in anytime. All right, Ed. All right. The Jackson Blake element is interesting, and we're gonna have to touch on it as we focus in more tonight, because they did shuffle up lines in Game 3, and I think that might getting Blake this is the wrong way to put it, but getting him away from Aho, getting him away from some of the bigger names, I think might take a little bit of pressure off the rookie, and could free him up. And he did score that goal late. Wouldn't say it was the most amazing display of marksmanship, but a goal is a goal. So maybe that'll get him going. But hey, the rookie that plays like a veteran has, I don't think, done anything to warrant, lowering the trust you have in him or anything along those lines. Brian in Raleigh is up next. Heister Automotive Group hotline. Keep the calls coming, 919-860-5326. Brian, you are up. Go ahead and sound off.
Yeah, no, tonight is definitely pivotal because it's a home game. We took away their home ice advantage by winning in the district. As long as we win tonight, we still have home ice.
Yep.
So tonight is definitely pivotal because you got to win at home. And
it's something that should be pointed out, Brian. I appreciate the call. as excited as and call back in anytime, as excited as we were when the Canes won Game 1 because it felt like we had wrestled something away from DC, they would get a similar jolt by doing the same tonight. And especially because it would be 2-2 and it'd be going back to D and all those other things. If you win tonight, it's why cliches are what they are. The pivotal word, you're darn right it's pivotal. If you win tonight, it's so much more difficult to just throw out there, hey, you know what? They have to win 3 in a row now. That just sounds so daunting versus, hey, it's a 3-game series now. It's best of 3. It's so wildly different. And, right, the home ice thing does matter also because the Canes. There were a few facts that the Canes knew, or that the national TV broadcasters are obviously fed about the Canes, one of which is they won a bunch of games at home. They cited the home record for the Canes 900 times. They also love to cite that Taylor Hall, the analytics love. People love to say that. The reason he's here is because the Canes they're an analytics-run franchise, and the analytics love Taylor Hall. Hear it 5 times a game. Back to the call-in line. Who did we just take? Brian. So now we go to Pat. Heaster Automotive Group hotline open for your calls, 919-860-5326. Pat in Durham, you are up next. You want to sound off and give props to Jordan Martinook? I will never object with that. Give the props.
Heck yeah. I mean, the goals were really they scored some really great goals during the game, but for me the play of the game was Martinook just sacrificing his body on a bullet that the guy shot. I mean, he had a full swing, and it was a bullet going to the net, and he just totally got in front of it. He had to skate off because it hurt him, but the fact that the guy will give everything like that, it makes you proud to be a fan of players that have that kind of heart. And, he's got my ultimate respect.
Pat, I appreciate you. You did a great job hyping up Jordan Martinook. I'm actually, as we'll let you go here because we'll move on to other calls, I am going to go even above and beyond with flowery language and praising of Jordan Martinook. That, when he gave up his body to step in front of that shot, they were up 3-0.
Was it 3-0 at the time?
Yeah, it was 3-0 because I immediately tweeted it out. Martinook is a gem, and that is the reason why every Canes fan loves that guy, because up 3-0, he will just lay down in front of an absolute rocket. And yeah, he had to skate off because, I don't know, like a 100-mile-an-hour shot hurts.
Ow. That's why.
But even as he was skating off and it was laboring, you get the sense of he's going like, I'll do it again. You need me to go lay down in front of another one? I got you. It looked like a Jim Craig save where he just went full like laying on his hips sideways.
The old double pad stack.
Yeah, it was a great move. And Jordan Martinook, again, I already highlighted the hit on Wilson. He makes 10 plays a game that make you just go, I wish I could skate on a line with that guy. Can I skate? No. Am I anywhere near an NHL skating level? Absolutely not. Would Martinook lay his body on the line for me? I'm sure he would, because we're wearing the same colors, same team uniform, and all those sorts of things. Same sweaters. Bo in Raleigh is up next. More Canes sounding off. Bo, thank you very much for calling in. Go ahead and sound off on the Game 3 win.
Yeah, hey, Tim. My wife and I were there at the game Saturday night, and we were nervous. All of Lenovo Center was nervous. I leaned over to my wife about halfway through the game. I said, we really got to score this first goal. Mm-hmm. And she goes, how about right here, off the face-off? And it was seconds later, the puck comes over to Svechnikov, and he just buries it, and everybody goes crazy. So it was a really cool moment. Great game to be at. And also got to meet Erik Tolsky. Talked to him for a minute during one of the intermissions. He was walking around just talking to the fans. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got a lot of respect for him doing that, because I'm sure a lot of GMs don't do that. So pretty cool.
Bo, make sure you said it was your wife that said, how about right here off the face-off?
Yes, I think she should get an assist for that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And,
absolutely.
And just make sure she says sometime close to the beginning of the game, like, how about right here off the opening face-off? Like, just in case she has that kind of power, let's use it for good. Bo, appreciate the call. Call back in anytime, as always, on the Heaster Automotive Group hotline here on a Monday Soundoff. I will give, and he hinted at it, I never know how much I want to say about that, but Erik Tulski is a man amongst the people, right? I don't want to like blow up his spot and tell everybody where he's going to be, so then suddenly people are hounding him. But if you are around the Canes, and you don't have to have like media passes and be in a whole bunch of restricted areas, if you're just around the Canes enough, there's a good chance if you know what Erik Tulski looks like, he'll walk by you. And if you say like, "Hey, Erik," he doesn't bury, he's not out there with like a Marvel superhero disguise, the hoodie up and the hat pulled way down and the sunglasses. No, he's out there hanging out, and I think that's pretty darn cool, as you heard Bo say. Heaster Automotive Group hotline continues to stay open for a Monday sound off. Your takes, whatever you want them to be, welcome here on the show. The number to call, 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Isaiah in Wake Forest wants to sound off on the NBA, so we'll break up the Canes takes here a little bit. Isaiah, thank you very much for calling in. Go ahead and sound off on the National Basketball Association.
Okay, thank you for taking my call. I'm going to say several things very quickly, so bear with me. So the first thing, I noticed this last week, and I was kind of irked me a little bit. Game 1 of the Cavaliers-Pacers series, Darius Garland sat out the game with a sprained toe, and that just really rubs me wrong because it is playoff basketball, and you have one of your best players sitting out with a sprained toe, and I'm just my sound off is, for this instance, the NBA just not dedicated like the other sports are. You have Fred Warner for the 49ers playing through the regular season on a broken ankle. Seth Jarvis last playoffs last whole, most of the season playing with a torn shoulder. And yeah, that's the one thing I want to say. And the second thing is, if the Hornets don't win the lottery today, I think they should try to pick up Giannis, because if they get Giannis or Cooper Flag, I think they're a playoff team. So
the Charlotte Hornets.
Appreciate the call. I'll respond to each of those individually. One, I hear you, and I am like an old school sports fan in that unless you're like you have a limb that's falling off, I think you should try to play in a playoff game. I will say this though. Toe injuries are surprisingly detrimental, especially if it's a big toe. I've seen some of the toughest guys I know, a big toe injury, and it's like, oh, dude, why are you running like that? Like they're like, I don't know, it hurts. So not to defend Darius Garland, but just throw another layer on that. And then secondly, I don't know if trading for Giannis has ever been someone's backup plan. Hey, if you don't win the lottery, maybe you should try trading for Giannis. Giannis is a multiple-time MVP, and I believe he is either yet to turn 30 or will turn 30 in the near – or just turned 30. He's got some years left. If he's available, I think you make that call. Cooper Flag is awesome, though. I think
he turned 30 back in December.
Okay, so not that long ago. And, yes, Cooper Flag, it is the flag sweepstakes tonight. And it is absurd how little difference there is between the top 5 teams. It's, the top 3 teams all get 14% chance at the first overall pick. Next is 12.6. Next, I don't know, man. There's a lot of tanking in the NBA to just be slightly better in the lottery. Crazy to me. I get Cooper Flag is worth it, but just the difference in percentages is you would be the worst team in the league. You have a 52% chance of having a top 4 pick. Almost a coin flip to not even be in the top 4.
Can't tank that well.
The NBA lottery happening tonight, by the way. Let's go back to the call-in line. Thomas in Durham wants to mix our topics. He wants to sound off on the Canes and the Hornets. Thomas in Durham, the floor is yours. Go ahead and sound off.
No, actually, I'm calling just about the Hornets.
Okay.
I didn't realize there were other sports happening because I've been spending the last year of suffering, waiting to see if it pays off tonight with the Capture the Flag sweepstakes. One, I appreciate where the last caller is coming from. Giannis doesn't fix things for us. That's a huge spacing issue. Unless you revamp the entire roster, he's still got to play next to Mark Williams, and no one down low can shoot. So that's a problem. That's part of the problem that they have in Phoenix or in Milwaukee right now. But the Hornets are cursed when it comes to the draft lottery as a general rule. So I am expecting the worst tonight, but hoping for the best. The nice thing is that we can only fall back to the 7th pick at worst, and the top 6 I'm in love with. When you get to the 7th,
that is such a dangerous thing to say out loud. That is
Tell me
such a
how-
dangerous thing to say out loud.
Agreed. I've said it many times, so it's not the first time I've cursed myself. But if it's Ace Bailey and the 7th pick, it's time to either trade back or just go ahead and remind myself that we're a cursed franchise and I should pull for someone else. Last but not least, if somehow Houston, San Antonio, or Philadelphia ends up with a number 1 overall pick, I think I'm just going to stop watching the NBA.
Okay, all right, duly noted. We'll call your bluff after it happens though, because you sound like you're pretty passionate about it. Thank you very much for the call. I'll respond to some of that here. One, if you are trading for Giannis, you're like, oh, unless they completely revamp the roster, you would absolutely have to revamp the roster because anything of value on your team would be sent to Milwaukee in the trade for Giannis. But I do appreciate it. Let's go back to the call-in line. Justin in San Diego? This is San Diego. I don't know what time it is there, but we're happy you're calling in. Wants to sound off on the Canes and the Caps. Go ahead and sound off, Justin.
Originally an East Coast boy, but no, my biggest thing is I don't think no one noticed when the boys are physical, the momentum shifts. I don't know if anyone noticed the moment that Stahl pretty much obliterated Wilson into into the bleachers, that momentum just completely changed.
I agree.
Like I think juices are flowing, and I think they're just kind of fed up with the the nonsense that these boys play with, and I think they're ready. And that's kind of what I hope happens tonight.
All right. I love it. Thank you very much. And thank you for going out of your way to listen from all the way there on the West Coast. I'll build off of your point here a little bit, though. Based on the reputations of these teams coming into this game, I don't know if you do the alien test that I always talk about, somebody that does not – has not watched the last few years, did not watch the regular season, completely fresh memory. If you just drop them into the stands and they've watched each of the first 3 games, I don't know if they're coming to the same conclusions that the reputations had, right? Because the reputation coming into this game was it was speed and finesse and skill and a team in the Canes that doesn't necessarily hold it against prospects if they're undersized, against the Caps, who all of them are Paul Bunyan. They're big, they're strong, they want to fight, they want the hockey sticks are 7 pounds each, and it's all of these gargantuans. I don't know if you watch this series if that's what you come away with, which is a huge, huge asset and a huge, huge feather in the cap of the Canes that it has looked, at least from a physicality standpoint, like a fair fight, if not the Canes being ahead in that category.
I think people underestimate because of the lack of size of some of their top players, like Sebastian Aho or Seth Jarvis. Is that you look at Erik Robinson? Erik Robinson's all 6'2", 211. You look at Mark Jankowski when he's out there, he's all 6'4", 200-plus pounds. Svetch ain't small either. Yep. He's 6'2", 200-plus pounds. Jordan Stahl, like we mentioned. Jordan Martin, but here's the thing, William Carrier. But here's the difference between the big guys for Carolina and some of the bigger guys for Washington. Overall, the bigger guys for Carolina can skate better.
I was just going to say that.
That's the difference. That they can skate better. They can out-skate you. Look what Erik Robinson just did to John Carlson. Made him look like a parking cone.
I think almost other teams' fans are conditioned by watching their team that the big guys maybe don't skate as well. So when they watch the Canes and they see mostly good skaters, they go, oh, they must all be small. And it's like, no. That's your conditioning. And there is the moments, like I talked about earlier, where you're like, oh, yeah, Jordan Stahl is huge. It's just not the most known thing about him, so we maybe take it for granted. All right, let's rip through a few of these before the top of the hour. We have James in Fuquay-Varina wants to sound off on tonight's game, so he's looking towards the future for the Canes. James, thank you for calling in. Go ahead and sound off. James, are you there?
Hello?
Oh,
I'm going to change it to a Hornets prediction.
Okay, all right.
The Charlotte Hornets. So I think if the Hornets happen to get the number 1 in the lottery,
okay,
and they draft Cooper Flag, and LaMelo stays healthy all year, I think we're making the playoffs.
I think that is what every Hornets fan out there would love to see. And by the way, there are a couple big ifs there. If you get Cooper Flag and if LaMelo stays healthy, but that's the dream. That is the dream. So we'll lock you in for that prediction, and if it comes true, James, we will give you your flowers. Appreciate you for calling in.
Okay, thank you.
We have Micah in Morrisville. I think he's going to call for physicality and toughness from the Canes tonight in Game 4. One of our most frequent callers. Micah, thank you for calling in. Go ahead and sound off.
Yeah, first of all, credit to all the Hornets fans. It's surprising because they just are painful. But, yeah, credit to you guys. And then, about the Canes. So I have, a couple things. I'll be quick.
All right.
First of all, everyone knows this, but Tom Wilson is super dirty. He's, one of the best. Everyone wants him on their team, but, this dude leads with his elbow and literally every single hit. He leaves his feet. He's, practically targeting Svetch's head anytime he can. It's insane. He reminds me of Sam Bennett. The Florida Panthers, this isn't even the Canes series, but they elbow about they've literally 4 elbows to the head, no penalties. And then Jordan Stahl gets a penalty for a self-inflicted high stick. It was literally their own player who did a high stick. If they would have scored in that power play, we could have lost the game. It's just crazy to me. But to good vibes, though, Jarvis, getting bumped to the first line and Blake going down, like you mentioned it's a lot of pressure off Blake, and he can kind of dance around the traffic cones like Dennis said. He'll outskate those guys down there. But Jarvis, Svetch, and Aho, they got to be huge. They're going to score. Aho's going to score tonight. I think Jarvis is going to score tonight too. They're going to buzz around. And then, we're going to end the series tonight. So, 3-1, go into Washington, and then we're going to win there.
There it is, Micah. I love it. Appreciate the call. We've got to move on. But, Micah, I don't mind cutting Micah off because he'll be on next time and we can give him a little extra. Ryan in Creedmoor wants to sound off on the NBA. And more importantly, for those of you that are just tuning in, earlier we had a caller, Ian, complain about Darius Garland not playing in some playoff games due to a big toe injury. Ryan in Creedmoor wants to respond to that and some conversations about NBA players' durability and toughness. So Isaiah, not Ian. Ryan, go ahead and sound off.
Good afternoon, Tim. How you doing?
I'm doing very well.
I can't agree with the caller because Luka played hurt in the playoffs. LeBron played hurt in the playoffs. Michael Porter Jr. is playing right now with a wrapped arm in the playoffs. I mean, these guys go play 80 games a year,
And 60, 65, 70. There's some load management, but I get what you're saying.
Right. And I'm just saying, don't ease up on the NBA, baby. And go Hornets. Go Hornets tonight for Cooper Flag.
All right.
Have a good day, baby.
Ryan, I love the energy. I love the vibe. I will say this, and this is probably true for every kind of generalization in the history of the world. It's not every NBA player. By the way, not every NBA player is tough, but not every NBA player is, I got a boo-boo, I need to miss 3 games. There's players, individual people are different. I think it would be very hard-pressed to say a lot of these guys aren't tough. But then there are some where it's you get a lot of rest over there, and you take a long time. There needs to be that fine line. Last caller here during a Monday Sound Off. Thank you to everybody that called in. We are looking to Debbie in Apex wants to sound off on the Canes. Debbie, end it with a bang. Give us a good one. The floor is yours.
Oh, you got it, guys. Thank you so much for all the Canes coverage. My mom has been turned into a huge Caniac. She lives in Roanoke, Virginia, and is fighting cancer and listens to you guys every day because there's 0 hockey coverage in Roanoke.
Well, first of all, tell your mom that we are huge supporters of her, and if she's listening right now, we are rooting for you every step of that way. And also, go Canes, right?
Oh, definitely. Go Canes. I am getting ready to get on Wade Avenue to hit Lenovo tonight for the game, and we're bringing it.
I love it, Debbie. Thank you very much for calling in and
all the way.
And seriously, pass along
Let's go.
Our support to your mom. All the way. All the way. There it is, Debbie. Shout out to, by the way, we've met a handful of them. Roanoke with a strong Canes fan presence.
Yeah, so people that watch the game broadcast, there's that little kid that dresses up like Seth Jarvis with a Harvard cutoff shirt, puts the mustache on, even decided to put Jarvis's tattoo, on his shoulder, when he's 10 years old, 11 years old. That family's from Roanoke. You and I met that family going into, I think it was game 1 again, the New Jersey Devils series. Yeah, they drive down from Roanoke.
Roanoke.
For games. It's 3.5 hours.
All right. Hey, Canes Roanoke fans, you're not alone out there. You got a group of you.
Bring some Mac and Bob's. For those who know Roanoke Mac and Bob's restaurant, bring some Mac and Bob's with you. I want a calzone.
There you go. Hey, we'll never turn that kind of stuff down. But thank you to Debbie. And seriously, if Debbie's mom is listening, support and go Canes, right? I think sports plays that role a lot, where you can kind of get that escape when you're going through some tough stuff and be a part of something bigger. So Canes, go get the win for Debbie's mom. Go win the cup for Debbie's mom and for all of the other Canes fans going through something. Hey, that was actually at the beginning of a Monday Soundoff. I said, we'll pump you up the rest of the show. That half hour was on the listeners. Fantastic job. I left significantly more pumped from our Monday Soundoff than I was before. Hopefully all of you did as well. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, has football at 4. We'll explain what this means, but the Panthers need to find their Frederik Andersen. That's what we're going to do coming up in a few minutes. Stick around.
Let's go! It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Aho now to Jarvis. Jarvis, you'll get the touchdown!
Let's go, Canes!
The Chetkov, stop! It's on the goal line behind him! He does a snow angel in the paint!
Go Canes!
Playoff hockey in Raleigh is something that you can't describe, and it's because of you. So we want to be here.
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle sports leader.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Is your whole home operating at peak performance? With Newcomb & Company, your independent trained dealer, proudly serving our community for over 70 years. As a Comfort contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs, including repairs and replacements for faucets, toilets, piping, garbage disposals, water heaters, drain cleaning, and more. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Stitches, itches, aches, and pains. Strep and sinus, minor sprains. Pink eye, earaches, fever, flu. Virtual visits, physicals too. At WakeMed MyCare 365, we offer both walk-in primary care and urgent care. So find the MyCare location nearest you at wakemed.org. Walk right in, and for just about anything from asthma, rashes, and examinations to x-rays, labs, and vaccinations, make MyCare your care.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night, wondering how you got so behind? Hey, I'm Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. I get it. Life is expensive now. Insurance, groceries, cars. And then there's the credit card debt with those obscene interest rates. It's time to regain your financial freedom. And that's what we offer at Loan Pronto, using the power of the equity in your home. We have multiple ways to get you the cash you need, and most clients close in 2 weeks or less, and many don't even require an appraisal. And listen, rates have been plummeting recently. We just locked a homeowner in with an APR in the low 5s, saving her over $1,000 per month, and put $10,000 in her pocket. Life-changing money. Whether you're drowning in debt, have a nosebleed rate you got last year, need home improvements, or simply need cash in your pocket, we can help you accomplish this goal in record time. Call us today and get started with no hard credit pull, just a conversation. LoanPronto.com, 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. That's LoanPronto.com.
Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. 2 to 4 inches of rain are possible in the next 48 hours. We do have a flood watch in effect, and of course today's a WRAL weather alert day. Lots of rain and thunderstorms through the rest of the day today and into tomorrow. Today's high 73, mid-60s tonight, and tomorrow's high 80 degrees with another inch of rain possible.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 1,160 points to 42,410. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4. But with it being also Canes Caps game 4 tonight, I thought we'd do the cross look thing, right? Where the Panthers, who are trying to make it to maybe a second round of the postseason, which you could argue, like right now, if this were football, I don't know, is it halftime and you're up like 10 in the second round of the postseason, right? Because obviously they're not playing series. The biggest difference, and there's a lot going on, right? Svetch is playing great, and he's somebody that we have asked really the last 5 years, when healthy, to level up his game. He's playing great. 6 goals in 8 postseason games. He obviously played really, really well in the Devils series, played really, really well in Game 3. There's players that are doing their thing, but Frederik Andersen this season, to me, is one of the biggest differences from the last couple of years for the Canes in the postseason. And the ironic part is, sure, they've played well in front of him. Don't get me wrong. And he hasn't faced. He had a game where he faced 14 shots. Right. He hasn't been facing an onslaught, but he has been getting some high leverage chances in his face. The Canes basically just looked at Freddie and said, "We just need you to play better." Right. We're gonna play the same system. We're gonna have a lot of the same guys in front of you. We're gonna do the things that we've done in other postseason runs. We just need you to play better. Right. I call it individual improvement. There's 2 ways your team can get better. 1, bring in new and better players. 2, get the players you already had to play better. They were trying to get better in goal in the postseason specifically just by looking at Freddie and saying, we need you to play better. And he has done that. This season, this postseason, by most statistics, both traditional and advanced, he is at the top, if not the top, of postseason goalies this year. Still a long way to go, by the way. You hope he can continue it. But that's been one of the stories of the postseason this year. So I thought, looking at the Panthers, right? They did a lot of the first option to get your team better, which is try to go out and get better players. They spent a lot in free agency, particularly on the defense. They drafted a new number 1 wide receiver in the first round. There are quite a few ways they should get better just by putting more talent in a position group. But I also think they're looking for individual step-ups. They're looking for a couple guys, and they're just saying, listen, I'm not sure we're going to ask you to do any less or we're going to make your job any easier. We just need you to play better. Right? So it's not exactly going from regular season to postseason like it was with Freddie, but it is going from last season to this season. Who do you look at and just say, I just need you to play better? I have 3 names in front of me. And they're all big names, by the way. I don't think you do a lot of this. Like, obviously, hey, Damani Richardson, we need you to play better. But also, late round picks, undrafted free agents, everybody can get better to an extent. I picked 3 big names. Matter of fact, they are all first round picks. I think they're looking at Ike Ekwonu, and they're just saying, listen, big fella, you're going to have the same offensive line around you. We're going to have the same offensive playbook. We're going to do a lot of the same things. We just need you to be a better pass protector. We just need you to have worked in the offseason to be better. And
that's fair.
And it's that's not on us, right? That's sure. I mean, your individual position group or Taylor Moton can give you, pearls of wisdom, little nuggets of advice that you can use. But in actuality, it's just you just have to play better. And if you do, by the way, that'll level up our offense because then we can have more long-developing pass routes. We can get Teteroa McMillan on more deep crossers because suddenly Bryce has the time in the pocket to let those things develop, and he's not back there going, I got to get rid of it, I got to get rid of it, I got to get rid of it, like he has in the past.
Last year, the offensive line, according to next-gen stats, the offensive line for the Carolina Panthers were 10th in run block win rate. Top 10 in the NFL, literally 10th. Pass block win rate, 30th.
Sheesh.
So it's like, okay, we know you can run block, which is great because obviously Dave Canales talks about how much he wants to run and all those kinds of things. But again, got to give Bryce time.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Next on the list, J.C. Horn. And here's what it is, right? Like, you were really good last year. You were healthy mostly. You earned this gigantic contract. I need you to get your hands on the ball more. I need turnovers from you, right? We pay you all this money not just to have a low passer rating against and not just for them not picking up first downs. We need you to get your hands on the ball. And you may say, well, they don't throw it at him. Yeah, I mean, not nearly as much as they do other corners, but it's not a zero. And I was inspired by this, right? Sports analogies can come from anywhere. I think it was Arkansas softball. Did you see this? I think she's the SEC home run leader now. Don't know her name, but she popped up on the highlights when I was watching SportsCenter. It's so well known that she is just a masher of the softball that she gets like no pitches to hit. And they showed a game where she had 2 intentional walks, and then I think had a 3-0 or a 2-0. She basically had not moved her bat off her shoulder, had gotten on base twice, and was way ahead in the count again. But there were runners on base, bases loaded maybe, so they couldn't walk her. She took one swing, hit a home run. Just boom, see ya, jog around the base path. If that has to be J.C. Horn, that has to be J.C. Horn. Right? They're not throwing at me. Well, they will at least once. Get your hands on the ball. We just need you to be better. I wish we could, have you on one side and Champ Bailey on the other side, and then, one of you's getting the picks. No, it needs to be you. And if you're tested less, you have less opportunities to do it, so don't waste them. Get your hands on the ball, or force fumbles, or go full Peanut Tillman. Like, I don't know what it is, but somebody on the defense has to get their hands on the ball. Last one of my 3, and Dennis, you hinted at this last week, Derek Brown. And I'm giving you leeway here. I'll go six games if you're healthy for game 1. 6 games to knock the rust off. After that, I need you to get after the quarterback more. You can't, and I say just, like, he might be the best in the league at this, but you can't just be a run stuffer. And you can't just be I eat up blockers and someone else can go get the sacks. Sometimes, you want a sack, you got to get it yourself. Right, I look at it. I said this about to relate it to the Canes. Jacob Slavin in overtime, whatever that was, game 1. Sometimes if you want a goal scored, you got to go do it yourself, right? There's only so much you can do by just stopping the other team. Sometimes you got to go get a goal. He did it in the Devils series. He did it in overtime against the Caps. Derek Brown, you can be the best run-stuffing interior defensive lineman in the league all you want. Occasionally, got to go get a sack. Occasionally, got to get off the field on 3rd down. Got to go get the quarterback on the ground. Those 3, it's like, I don't know if you're going to have more help. Hopefully you do. I don't know if we're going to scheme you up better. We might have to focus our schemes on getting other guys going because they need the help more. I don't know. You 3 just have to get better. And you're also all in that age group where it's like prime is pretty close, if not right now. Make the jump. Saw J.C. Horn was on some corners list on social media, right? Everyone has a list. He was like 9th in the league. I need top 4. I need it higher than that.
Yeah, get 5.
Yeah.
5's fine.
5 consistently over like a 7-year period. I'm good with that.
Yeah, you only had the 1 interception last year.
It's the only thing when I watch him that it leaves me going like, I wish he'd do that more. He's really good PBU, obviously low passer rating against. I think he does a good job helping against the run. Like, there's a lot to like. It's just the one thing he doesn't do, the ball hawk awareness is just a tad below where I want it. So I'm just looking at him going, I just want you to be better at it.
Yeah, like the splash plays.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What you see, like Freddie making a save on a breakaway 30 seconds into the game. You can call that a splash play.
Absolutely. Any breakaway save for a goalie, really.
Yeah.
Unless The Canes have had some where I'm like, I don't know if the goalie had to work that hard to stop that one.
I don't know. Thompson's on Jarvis the other day was a heck of a one.
Yes.
It was a great save.
Not the one I was speaking of.
Yeah, I know. Really wanted that one for Jarvis.
Yeah, speaking of, Jarvis and Aho got to get going. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Dennis Cox has something for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Law Tigers. Needless to say, didn't take the motorcycle out today. I don't know if anyone's noticed outside. It's been kind of rainy. I don't know. We had a caller call in from San Diego. I hear it's nice and sunny out there, but that's not the situation we got going on out here. So, obviously, be aware of weather and road conditions before hopping on a motorcycle, especially if the roads are a little bit wet. Always be cognizant of where you are riding your motorcycle in the lane that you're in. Don't ride down the middle. This is a big problem I see with other motorcyclists on the road. Don't ride in the middle of the lane. The reason why? You ever pulled up to a stop sign or a stoplight and you see all those little splotches in the middle of the road? Well, that's oil and other fluids that drip down from cars. Well, if you're riding in the middle of the lane as a motorcycle rider, that stuff's getting on your tires, which gives you less traction, which could cause you to have an accident completely on your own. Those are situations you don't want to put yourself in. So be sure that you know where you are on the road at all times and understand the road conditions that are around you. But if you are injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you contact Law Tigers, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, even before you contact your insurance company. Law Tigers, again, they're motorcycle riders too. They know what your bike is worth, what your gear is worth, and what you're going through after an accident. Your case evaluation is always free. They don't get paid until your case settles. So again, if you're injured in an accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or again, visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll get to a cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House. The Ladder Challenge, winners and losers, Canes, Caps. There is a lot going on, and it's all coming up right here on The Drive. Don't go anywhere.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the PGA Championship from Quail Hollow. Find out if Xander Schauffele can go back-to-back in Charlotte.
Xander Schauffele, the winner of the 106th PGA Championship.
Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates and every big moment through the presentation of the Wanamaker Trophy. Coverage of the PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club. Experience the rich history of this must-play course.
The golf season is here. Time to upgrade your game. Head to Global Golf and explore Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf clubs. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned player, our expert staff will get you fit. Are you ready to trade in your current clubs? Global Golf makes it easy to trade in your previously played equipment and upgrade to your next set of clubs. Visit Global Golf today, located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
Is going to your local bar the worst part of your day? The bartender ignores you, mediocre food, warm beer? Then why go there? Take 5 minutes and drop in at Sharky's, where they'll give you a free evaluation, and you can learn about all the bars that you shouldn't go to. Sharky's has helped thousands find the right bar to hang at. What are you waiting for? Sharky's evaluation could be the cure to the worst part of your day. Change your bar, change your life. Sharky's, 5800 Durley Road by the Shell Station.
Hi, I'm Marcy Bailey. And at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, we understand your concerns when it comes to buying an engagement ring. Am I paying too much? Am I getting a quality diamond? Will she love the ring? Rest assured, we prioritize your happiness as much as the exquisite diamonds we offer. That's why we provide unparalleled guarantees to give you peace of mind. First of all, we offer an incredible 30-day money-back guarantee. Secondly, with our unique 100-day price protection, we promise you'll get the best price, quality, and value. But if you find a better offer, we'll match it and give you 10% of the difference. But we don't stop there. We also offer an unprecedented lifetime diamond guarantee. It's our way of giving you confidence throughout all of your cherished moments. We've been locally owned since 1948 and voted the best jeweler year after year. At Bailey's, we're not just selling jewelry. We're providing a legacy of trust. We invite you to shop with us and experience the difference.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it. But not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
Now Carolina, they score on the power play! What a shot and what a goal! Yes, Barry Kotkaniemi and Jack Roslovic loading it up, and Roslovic back in the series and on the board.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Pivotal Game 4 tonight for the Canes at home, trying to defend home ice against the Washington Capitals. Canes lead their second-round Stanley Cup playoff series 2-1 following a commanding 4-0 win in Game 3 on Saturday. But it's already time to Game 4. Turn the page on to the next. And with that, we have another Cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House. We do know, with the way that the schedule has worked out, there will be at least one more game on the road in this series. So Carolina Ale House in Cary is your spot for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs. Keep that in mind. Obviously, tonight a home game. Cup check-in with Adam Gold today. Erik Cole, Canes legend, checked in with Adam. So this should be a pretty exciting one. Cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House. Enjoy.
Your thoughts on what we saw from Andre, certainly in the middle of the second period?
Yeah, I love. I mean, that was always, one of the things that we taught was winger on the wall. You're racing the defenseman to your, that's standing next to you to the front of the net, and you're trying to cut underneath their centerman, so that way if any pucks, fit in that general area, you're the first one on it, or even if the net front D, grabs it, you're right on them. And, to see him just kind of, just be powerful right off the face-off, right off the, the start there and jump through there, and then obviously make a great shot on top of it was, it was great to see, and certainly a huge goal, at that moment in the game. And I think that, while the team was playing well, they weren't really getting the results. And then they finally, started to see it. And, we saw what happened the rest of the game, where I felt like they just smothered them and just wore them down.
There were two different games, right? The first 30 minutes, Washington controlled. Frederik Andersen kept them in it. And then the last 30 minutes, which was one-way traffic.
Yeah, and that's how it goes lots of times in the playoffs. Those simple little plays that lead to something, much bigger, and then all the momentum changes, and now you're fighting an uphill battle. And I thought, while that was happening, the Hurricanes, started playing, even stronger, and, there was more confidence to their game.
Erik Cole is joining us here on the Adam Gold Show. Game 4 tonight. Do you believe in momentum from game to game in the playoffs?
Absolutely. I think it was a little bit more prominent, back in the day when, before you were, just constantly going, pretty much every other day.
Right.
I would point to that, the 02 Cup run where we won Game 4 in Montreal, came back here for Game 5 on Mother's Day, but we were right back in Montreal the next night for Game 6. And we steamrolled them like 5-1 in Game 5 on Mother's Day, and we carried that literally right into the Bell Center the next night, and we beat them 8-2. So I do believe in momentum, from game to game for sure.
That was the Cup check-in with Adam Gold, presented by Carolina Ale House, checking in with Canes legend Erik Cole. That's why I love the check-in, right? When Erik Cole gives a story, and it's not just, well, in series he gets to go, well, the 02 Cup run, not many people know exactly what it's like to try to go on a Cup run with the Carolina Hurricanes, and obviously Cole is one of them. Served up by Carolina Ale House. Check out Carolina Ale House in Cary for away game watch parties throughout the playoffs. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff when they do have those away game watch parties. We'll continue to check in on that game. The Canes, Caps, Lenovo Center tonight, 7 o'clock puck drop, hour of Adam Gold Storm Watch from 6 to 7, and our show taking you right up till then. It is a true hockey night in Carolina tonight, but right now we have to take the appropriate time, make the appropriate attention to the ladder challenge. Now, Dennis, I did actually have a winner over the weekend.
Hey, look at you.
Feels for a while, but it was still, I don't know if I've won a bet by more than like half a goal or half of a run or half in a while, but I guess winning is winning, inch or a mile. How'd it go for you?
I won as well on Friday night last week. I had the Toronto Maple Leafs and Florida Panthers getting over 3.5 goals. Nailed that. So I'm up to $25.54 is what I'm up to now as a whole.
I'm up to $13.18. I had Winnipeg and Dallas over 3.5 for whatever it was on Friday. It was a 4-0 win for Winnipeg. Now I made that bet as a emotional hedge. Like if Mikko goes crazy again, Mikko Rantanen, then at least I can be happy that I won the bet. Turns out he did not have a great game that game. I still won the bet, and then Mikko had a great one over the weekend. So again, I'm twisted up into a pretzel on the ladder challenge. What are you betting on for tonight?
So I'm a little torn on a couple things here because the only other hockey I kind of want to stay away from Canes and Caps. There's too much invested emotionally.
Not the only person that stays away from betting on their favorite team because it's like I don't need reason to be invested.
But Edmonton and Vegas, they can't stop scoring.
Okay.
No one apparently wants to play defense, and no one apparently wants to just do anything on that. No one wants to stop a puck or anything along those lines. So I'm actually looking at going with shots on goal, Connor McDavid, 2+. 2+ shots on goal by Connor McDavid. They're going back to Edmonton, so that's the thing I'm looking forward to. So it's a -700, so my $25.53 will turn into $29.17. It's -700.
I agree with you that I don't love, outside of looking at the Canes and making predictions and things because it's a team that we cover. I don't love a lot of bets in the NHL tonight, so I went NBA, and I teased it like I often do. The Celtics are a 6.5-point favorite versus the Knicks tonight. After the Knicks took games 1 and game 2, Celtics bounced back. Now in game 4, the Celtics are 6.5-point favorites. I can tease that all the way down to Boston being a 7.5-point underdog. So I have the Celtics plus 7.5 against the Knicks. It's -860. Dennis is ahead by enough money here that I don't have to worry about trying to make the most on each bet. I just have to keep winning, and hopefully he'll make a mistake somehow in the second half of May. I think the Knicks could win the game, but I don't think it'd be by 8. I think for them to win it, it'll have to be that gritty, grimy Knicks thing, hard-fought clutch plays and that sort of deal, which, that wouldn't bother me if I have a 7.5-point cushion. So give me Boston plus the 7.5 to take my $13.18 to $14.71. That's the ladder challenge. We'll revisit it tomorrow. For all of you out there that want to make predictions, at 4:33, which is in about 7 minutes, we will have first goal scorer predictions for tonight's Canes-Caps game. So be ready to call in, and when you do, you will need 2 pieces of information. Who will score the first goal of the game for the Canes, and in what period do you think that goal will be scored? If you get both of those right and you call in, you're one of our official contestants, there's a sweet Apex Racing Lab gift certificate waiting for you. For everybody else, if you don't want to call in, if you're nervous to hear yourself on the radio, or you try to call in and the lines are full, you can always head to our YouTube live stream, 99.9 The Fan. Go into the comments and let us know who you think will score the first goal and in what period. I asked the question on Twitter, and there's a whole bunch of comments there. We'll get to those as the show goes along.
Yeah, tons on the YouTube chat as well.
So 4:33 is the time for official contestants. Right now, we'll do a quick version of winners and losers. As quick as we can.
This team will never lose again.
Winners and losers, more creative than just this team scored more points, so they win. This team didn't, so they lose. We're looking for vibes, who won and who lost the last week. I'll start with a doozy. NBC won this week.
Okay.
And it was a buzzer beater. It happened this morning. They won the entire week this morning when it was announced that Michael Jeffrey Jordan will be serving as a special contributor for the NBA on NBC. Michael Jordan in the media. I never thought I'd see the day, but whatever NBC did to sell him on it, good on you. You've won the week. Michael Jordan in the media. Loser, speaking of media, NC State football fans that don't want to have 1,000 different streaming services. Notre Dame revealed their home schedule. The NC State at Notre Dame game, as of right now, I believe will be a Peacock streaming exclusive, which means you won't be able to watch it on NBC like every other Notre Dame home game. You'll have to watch it on the Peacock streaming service. I hate making games harder to watch. I hate it. I don't want to have to ask a friend, where is the game that we have to watch today? So that I just wanted to get off my chest. Dennis, do you have some winners and losers you want to throw at us?
I do. I'm actually going to go with the winner, Richmond lacrosse. I was actually at the Richmond UNC men's lacrosse game on Saturday. My girlfriend and I went, just taking some NCAA tournament action. Fantastic game between the two sides. Richmond, first ever NCAA tournament win, program history. Program's been around for 11 years now. They've always have been, since the program started, COVID year, notwithstanding. But they've always gotten to at least a conference championship. Now they're in the A10. They used to be in the SoCon, but they've always at least gotten to a conference championship. They've been in the NCAA tournament about 4 or 5 times now. Finally got their first conference tournament win.
They are kind of in a lacrosse hotbed of the country.
Richmond,
I mean, that Mid-Atlantic is so...
Mid-Atlantic itself.
Like, if you're like, you can recruit to Maryland and say we're close if you're in Richmond. You know 100%. What I mean? And you can recruit to some good... That makes sense that they're good. I have a winner and a loser who's the same person. Winner, Leon Draisaitl. What was it? Thursday? Where he was set up by McDavid for a beautiful game-winning goal in overtime. That's where he's a winner. He's a loser because he was also set up beautifully to score a goal for his opponent to also win a game. So he just right in front of the net, wide open, goalie's out of the way. He scored 2, one for his team and one for the other team. It's funny because it didn't happen to your team. If it happens to your team, it's not funny. But if you watch him, it's well played. He's in good position to score both goals. I'll go winner. Oh, this is a winner and then also a hat tip winner. Winner, Chandler Simpson. And winner, Mike Burling, hat tip to Mike Burling, the VP from the Durham Bulls. For Durham Bulls opening day, we were out at Durham Bulls Athletic Park, and we talked with Mike Burling on air. And we asked him, hey, who do we want to say we saw win? He immediately went, Chandler Simpson. He's the fastest player recorded and all those sorts of things.
Center fielder? No, the shortstop.
Yeah, I think he's kind of...
Can play anywhere.
Mostly, let me fill in where you need speed, particularly pinch run. But since then, I'm telling you right now, Google is or YouTube or social media search Chandler Simpson. Goodness, at least the highlights that I've watched, not a hard hit in the entire highlight film. The guy is not sending line drive ropes to left center. He's hitting like dying quails and finishing on third. He's the fastest dude alive. He's hitting choppers to like shortstop, and he's already turned around walking back to the base by the time the ball gets to first. It's unbelievable how fast this guy is.
On X, MLB about 4 hours ago posted on X just like a little bloop shot right into center field. Center fielder plays it normal. Yeah, and he's sliding into second for a double.
Yeah,
because of his speed. Like MLB is posting that.
It's unbelievable. I kid you not, he's the fastest guy maybe to ever play baseball. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, how do you get a double out of that?
I'm surprised it's not a triple. I mean, watch him run. He's flying. They're saying he should be on the U.S. World Baseball Classic team just as a pinch runner because he's that good. When you need a run, anybody gets on base, put him in there. He'll be on third by the time you know it. It's unbelievable. And he was on the Durham Bulls, and Mike Burling was like, you should pay attention to him. Like a week later, he's the fastest guy in the bigs. It's a good wormhole if you want to kill 20 minutes. Go watch Chandler Simpson highlights. All right, there you go. Winners and losers. Go ahead and end that. I had more, but we ran out of time. Too much going on today. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The
You
Fan.
get one more in there real fast.
One more?
20 seconds.
We'll go loser, Cavs.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They won. And then the next game, they won. Oh, look, the Cavs are back. Donovan Mitchell, he's doing cool layups. They were trailing this weekend against the Pacers, 80-39 at half. 80-39 at half. They fought back to lose by 20. Yeah, the Cavs are going to be losers. There's other, and you know what? We don't have time because we have to get to first goal score predictions. Fire it up. Right now, Heister Automotive Group hotline is open. I need at least 3 of you. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. You need to call in with who you think is going to score the first goal for the Canes and in what period you think they will score it. If you get it correct as an official on-air contestant, you will win an Apex Racing Lab gift certificate. Phone lines are open, 919-860-5326. While Dennis grabs those callers, gets them lined up, I will let you know about the prize. The ultimate sim racing experience is at Apex Racing Lab. Rev up your engines at Apex Racing Lab, the Triangle's largest sim racing destination. Experience the ultimate thrill with 20 cutting-edge simulators, expert instructors, and world-class virtual tracks. Located in Cary's McGregor Village in Greater Raleigh, visit Apex Racing Lab today and unleash your racing passion. Learn more at apexracinglab.com. That's apexracinglab.com. I did tweet this out earlier today and asked for your responses on Twitter, so I have some of those that we'll get to. If you don't get through on the phone lines, and it does look like they are filling up, if you don't get through on the phone lines, you can always head to our YouTube, 99.9 The Fan, and in the live stream, go into the comments. You'll see other people doing it. You can leave a name and a period and more specifics if you want. Is it a power play goal? Is it a rebound? Is it a slap shot? Is it a wrist flick? Whatever you want to go with. Let us know. That's just for bragging rights in the comments, though. The official contestants start with Kevin in Fayetteville. Kevin, welcome to the show. We're happy to have you. Go ahead and give us your choice. Who scores the first goal and in what period?
Thank you. I got Seth Jarvis in the second on a clean wrist shot, blocker side high, because he was talking to Kochetkov on the bench after he missed his chance in the last game. I think Kochetkov gave him a little tip.
I saw that as well, and I thought that's a really interesting conversation when you think you should have scored a goal and you didn't, and you go back and talk to the goalie that's hanging out back there. I thought that was interesting as well. So I don't hate any of your logic, Kevin. That is a very good guess. Go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab some info from you. Next up, Chad in Hillsboro. Chad in Hillsboro, who scores the first goal for the Canes and in what period?
I'm just going to stick with Aho in the first.
Aho in the first. Do you want to give any more specifics?
I'm just hoping he'll get one off of a steal and go on a breakaway and knock it in.
All right. I have you locked in. I I think a lot of people would love to see Aho score, and a lot of people would love to see a first goal or a first period goal. So there's a lot of people that are excited if Chad ends up being a winner. Brian in Holly Springs, you are our last official contestant. Brian, who scores the first goal and in what period?
Okay, give me Martinook in the first, 5-on-5, and it's going to be a rebound shot that he puts in.
If Martinook scores in the first, the Lenovo Center will go bonkers. So, Brian, I think a lot of people are rooting for you as well. Go ahead and stay on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to grab from you. But the 3 official contestants are locked in. Kevin went with Jarvis in the second, wrist shot, blocker side high. Chad went with Aho in the first, a steal and a breakaway of some sort. And then Brian, as you just heard, went with Martinook in the first, 5-on-5 rebound. I think all of those are lovely options. If you failed to get through on the call-in line, that's a bummer. We wish you could. Try again next time. We do this every time there is a Canes game while we have a show, so same day. But if you want to still show off your knowledge that you know hockey, you can always run to our YouTube live stream comments or to social media and send it to us at Donnelly Sports on social media, 99.9 The Fan everywhere, including YouTube. Let's look here. Oh, by the way, we did hear from Adam Gold. I asked him when we were changing studios here before the show. He went with Jarvis in the first. He almost nailed Svetch in the second, but he predicted that for Game 2 rather than Game 3, and we didn't get a Game 3 prediction from him. So if it rolled over, he did get it right in Game 3. Surprise Jarvis on Twitter says Svetch again. His shot is just steaming, hitting posts left and right from everywhere on the ice. So I'm with you on that one. Svetch, very popular. Chatfield from Rich. Do you know what's – I'm not going to be able to read them all because there's a bunch. Jeremy says Taylor Hall. Gary says Stahl, both in the first. There are themes every time we do this. Sometimes the theme is, gosh, they're really all over the place. Sometimes it's one guy who's been buzzing and he's due. If there is a theme that I'm noticing, and Dennis, I know you're looking through the YouTube comments, the theme I'm noticing is maybe because it does feel like a kill shot kind of game where you can really take advantage. That first line is being depended upon by the fans. I'm seeing a lot of Jarvis. I'm seeing a lot of Aho. I'm seeing a lot of Svetch. And if they're skating together in that top line, high expectations. I'm seeing a lot of those 3 names more so than any others.
Let's see. We got Martinook. Brandon says Martinook in the second because he thinks it's going to be another 0-0 after the first. So we have a Martinook. Actually, we have 2 people Martinook in the second period, including Robert. So we have Brandon and Robert both saying Martinook in the second. Mint City Matthew says Aho in the first period to get things going. We also have Jeff said Seth Jarvis in the first period, so kind of going along those lines. Our guy Micah says Fetch in the first. Our fellow producer here at 99.9 The Fan, Max Gorin, says Svetch in the first. Keep things going, Andre. Clinton says the big stall in the first period. The man is due. Also, Dan says, "Oh, captain, my captain!" in the first 5 minutes. That would also be Jordan Stahl. So, seeing actually some love for Jordan Stahl and Jordan Martinook here as well. We actually have Ryan said Stankoven in the first period. Levi says Jarvis in the first. We actually have another Stanky in the first.
Look at that.
I know, yeah. So Stanky's getting some love. Let's see. Dangle said Burnsy, one-timer from the point in the first period as well. Also, Mark said Burns first period as well, one-timer. And also, Stavey VR said Blake in the first. And we also have Rain 13 said Aho in the first as well. So, yeah, a little all over the place.
I like all of that. Dennis, I already revealed that Adam Gold said Jarvis in the first. We need your prediction. Who scores the goal and in what period?
This feels like an opportunity for Taylor Hall to get things going in the first period. Give me Taylor Hall about 9 minutes into the first on a 2-on-1. He and Roslovic on a 2-on-1.
Do you know what just happened? Ever been at a restaurant and you're like ordering last and someone orders something before you and you didn't even like see it on the menu and you're just like, ooh, that does sound good. That's what just happened. Because the Taylor Hall, I will admit, in tonight's game, I am very much looking towards the top line like the fans are.
Yeah.
I think it's a game where they need to be really, really good. So I didn't really even consider Taylor Hall, but when you said it, I went, ooh, that sounds good.
Ooh, well, actually, I'll have a Sam Jackson.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know what? I will. Let's go. Let's make it happen. I'm rolling with. If you saw it on social media, I asked my 4-year-old son today, and I don't know if he knows anyone else. He's a big Sebastian Aho fan, but he said Sebastian Aho, and then he turned and flicked the tennis ball into our little floor hockey goal.
Okay.
So I'm going with Sebastian Aho in the first.
There it is.
And again, my 4-year-old Miles, he guess with the shot he took, kind of hinted that it's going to be a backhand. So a little nasty backhand from Aho, flipping it into the goal. Can't go against him. Aho in the first. That's what I'm rolling with, and it's time. That first line, it's time. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You can continue to get those predictions in on social media, YouTube, and everywhere you find 99.9 The Fan. As long as it's time-stamped before the game starts, we'll give you your credit as a right prediction. Right now, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. Speaking of predictions, right? When people say they know what's going on in the mortgage interest rate game, make sure they have those timestamps. I knew rates were going to go up. Oh, did you? Or are you just saying that now to sound smart? Show me something proving it, because it's actually really difficult. It's a volatile market. There's a lot of things impacting markets right now, and that includes the interest rates. So maybe rather than pretending like you knew what was going to happen, the way to handle it is call Miller Lending, get a no closing cost loan. That means if rates go down, right, and something happens, impacts the markets, and all of a sudden it's a point lower, 2 points lower than the mortgage rate you locked in, refinance, right? No problem. No costs, no fees, no money out of your pocket. You just get the lower monthly payment. And then if rates go up, right, because we can't predict it, it's a very volatile market. If they go up, you're thankful that you locked it in yesterday with or today, right? I'm speaking in the future. With Miller Lending with a no closing cost loan, again, no money out of your pocket. It's a way to take advantage of, or to at least be comfortable with, a changing market, knowing that you're doing everything you can to get yourself the best, lowest monthly payment on your mortgage. The number to call is 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and MLS number 250-2146. Let's talk top line when we come back, shall we? So many of you just predicted a top line skater will score the first goal for the Canes today. Will Aho and Jarvis score? They haven't done so yet. Stick around.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands. On-site financing to get you approved and on the water. Boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki outboards.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come in, throw it in, and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you, hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your independent terrain dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Will you make the right call? Time's running out, pressure's on, and you need your roof replaced. Hi, I'm Holly from RoofWorks. It's 4th and goal, and the decision's in your hands. The competition can't stop you. You're about to score the game winner. We've trained for years for this moment to raise the roof for you. So avoid the noise and put us in the game. Call RoofWorks today or visit us online at roofworks.com. That's roof, WERKS.com.
When it comes to restoring cars, Diego's got skills. And with Total Wireless in his corner, the whole world sees them. With the dual camera system on his new iPhone 13, he can take amazing car photos and post them on the fly with super fast 5G, and even turn this hobby into a full-time gig. His claim to fame? Claiming iPhone 13 with 5G on us. Get iPhone 13 with 5G on us when you switch to the Total 5G or 5G Plus Unlimited 3-month plan. Total Wireless, in your corner. For limited time while supplies last. Valid in store. Device taxes and fees may apply. Requires port in and ID verification. Restrictions apply.
Make your next tailgate more electric when you plug into a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Not only do they light up the scoreboard with outstanding payload and towing numbers, with available Pro Power on board, you can turn these Ford trucks into mobile generators to give your tailgate party an extra boost of energy. Visit your Carolina Ford dealer or buyfordnow.com for great offers and to learn more about F-150 and Super Duty. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Helps lead this across. Robinson, he goes under the crossbar and scores! It's a good goal for Erik Robinson. His first of the postseason, and it's 3-0 Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have, based on the first 3 games of the Canes Cap series, an all-time, like, glass half full, glass half empty debate. Because part of me, the optimist in me, is saying the Canes are up 2-1. They've played 2 games on the road. They're leading the series, and Sebastian and Seth Jarvis haven't scored a goal yet in the series. That's kind of impressive. That's really impressive, right? Because it means you're getting help from the others, the Roslovics, the Robinsons, the Stankovens, right? Some of these guys that aren't your main goal scorers are doing enough to support a series lead against the best team in the Eastern Conference during the regular season. That's awesome. And then, right, the if there's a pessimistic side of you or a cynical side of you chimes in and goes, 3 straight games in the postseason to start a series, and you don't have goals from either of your 2 best goal scorers, and you're sitting there celebrating? Well, yeah, kind of. While also acknowledging, even if you get out of the Cap series with a win, those guys are going to have to find their scoring rhythm yet again if you want to achieve the big and lofty goals that you're chasing, which, I think even if you talk to the Canes players, would tell you they didn't, start their season on their vision board writing win the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, right? They want the whole darn thing. So it is both, right? This is not a sporting event where somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. The answer can be both. I think it can be a good thing for the depth of the Canes for showing how much of a team they are, that you can go ahead against a really good opponent and you don't need Aho and Jarvis to be, sounding the sirens 7 times, right? You don't need that. You have other guys that can carry that burden, but also it is something that you don't want to continue. It is something that you'd love for it to end. And if those 2 guys do say, all right, I need to be more aggressive, you're not going to hear a complaint from me. Right? If Jarvis got a little frustrated because he had a breakaway and he couldn't find the back of the net, I'm good with that, right? I don't think this is one of those situations. I don't think sports are one of those situations where frustration is always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a good thing. So, oh, no, you're frustrated? Good. Channel that and go score. And I like that the switch happened to where they were skating with each other. I see the logic of splitting them up, right? I get wanting to divide up your goal scoring and put an elite scorer on that Stahl-Martinook line. Like, I get the logic, but part of me just says, like, Aho and Jarvis, they get each other, right? They have that thing where they know where the other's going to be and they don't need to see it. And they're also just exceptional talents, and putting those 2 together can really make an opposing team's especially if you get them matched up against one of their not great grinding lines. But if you get even against the opposing team's best defensive lines, you can really make them pay, which is huge, which is massive. So if they do for the majority of the game, and I expect it, if they do have Aho centering Jarvis and Svech has been playing really well. I expect that line that you got to create points. It's not just, hey man, they're buzzing, they're possessing the puck, they're getting good looks. You have to convert. If you put those three on one line, you have to convert. That's one of the keys to this game, especially because of the nature of the game. We've talked so many times already today about how commanding a 3-1 lead is. Right? Then you're forcing Washington, if they want to pull off the upset, to win 3 straight. You're forcing them to at minimum, have to win a couple games, or one more game at home, meaning here in the Lenovo Center. You're forcing them to have to win in one of the toughest places to win again. Winning tonight feels like, I know it's not, and I know that it's always dangerous to say, feels like a kill shot, right? It feels like you're taking this series if you win tonight. And very, very rarely do you see those types of wins happen without your top guys pulling that metaphorical trigger, right? Just talking metaphorical kill shots and all that sort of thing. Like the youngsters or the others, they're like, we got you here, right? We did our part. We sat up in the tree stand with you. We were quiet. We did all the calls. We put out all the whatever salt licks. I'm not a hunter. I don't know what I'm talking about here. But we all did this. Now you have the buck, insights, in distance. You gotta land the shot. And that's kind of what I'm looking at to Aho and Jarvis. And I'm looking at, and Svech, by the way, and, Slavin. Like, I think it's the top guys, right? The studs got to be studs. I'm looking at you going, it's within your sights. They don't see you. It's a clear day, right? There's nothing, no distractions. You just have to land the shot. And that's your role on this team. That's your role on this team. And by the way, the other team has guys. It's their role too. And they're going to feel like this is a game that, for their survival, they have to win. Ovechkin's going to probably be more aggressive. He's probably going to be more demanding. Do you think here's the question with Ovechkin. And it's talked about in, like I've referenced a few times. Got some group chats with some Caps fans that I'm a part of, and that you would think Ovi's about to do something ridiculous the way they're just like, just wait. And I'm going like, it's 3 games with no points. I mean, if he can have a great game, I wouldn't deny that. But obviously he's not some kind of superhero right now. But also he just might be due, right? Because he had some looks in Game 3. Tell you that much. He had some looks. Here's Taylor Hall on how they've limited Ovechkin's scoring chances so far.
He's going to get a look here and there, but it's really about just keeping him to the outside, and if he is going to get shots on the net, make sure Freddie sees them. Make sure that they're not one-timers, things like that. So the guys that have been playing against him for the series have done a really good job. They have a lot of skill up front. Their top 6 is loaded with guys that can produce and that can change a game. So along with Ovi, we seem to be doing a pretty good job on their big guys, and that has to continue.
You're not going to hear anyone downplay or down talk Alexander Ovechkin. But I do think if he is due, right, if you're looking at it and saying 3 games without a goal, 3 games without this, without that, he's due. I think you could say the same for Aho Jarvis, right? It's the 2 best goal scorers on the Canes when it looks at statistics, and the best goal scorer perhaps in the history of the NHL through 3 games have 0 goals combined. If you think one of them's due, you think all of them are due, and so it, I guess, evens out a little bit would be the way to say that. And then, so if Ovi gets going, I think Aho and Jarvis need to make sure they get going, and then you're awash, and it comes back down to the others, and the Canes others have been playing better.
That they have been. Here's the thing with Alexander Ovechkin. In Game 1 against the Montreal Canadiens in that opening round series, He had 2 goals and an assist, so 3 points. Since then, 2 goals. That's it. That's it. So, I mean, he's not just been cold this series. For the most part, he's been relatively held off the score sheet.
And a few times
since game 1 against Montreal.
Has played weird ice time, and there's been some things that obviously we're not going to get details on, but it just things that make you go, those kind of deals. So we'll see. We'll see how it all goes from here. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the starting 5 coming up, including audio from Rod Brindamore, Seth Jarvis, guys we've been talking about. But first, Tim Donnelly here for Bailey's Fine Jewelry. I was out at Bailey's Fine Jewelry, the Village District location in Raleigh this weekend. Picked up some jewelry for the wife for Mother's Day. And while she was looking at that and figuring out what she wanted, I had the kids stroller tag along, and I was like, we're going to the Fox and Bailey watch shop. And we walked in there, and there are some absolute beauties. They had the gold and green dial Omega Speedmaster. Absolute beauty. There was actually somebody there that was looking at the pre-owned and vintage Rolexes, and I was like involuntarily just a hype guy. Just they would bring it out, and I'd go, wow, what a watch. Like, I'm sure they may have even been annoyed by me, but I couldn't help it because it was such an iconic watch. We looked at the Omegas. They actually have a great pre-owned and vintage Cartier display, which is relatively new. So add that to all of the brands that you get when you head out to the Fox and Bailey watch shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry. And as you heard me say to start this, they also have just the wide and unbelievable display of traditional jewelry, diamonds, and everything else for gifts. And my wife made out pretty good with some Bailey's Fine Jewelry from the main showroom. I'll tell you that much. So check it out. Go ahead, look at the watches. I'm telling you, try them on. The person I was hyping up, you could just see how powerful they felt throwing on the pre-owned and vintage Rolexes. Their entire statement vibe was raised. And when you're out there, let them know you heard about it here from me, Tim, on 99.9 The Fan. Again, it's the Fox and Bailey watch shop located inside Bailey's Fine Jewelry at their Village District location in Raleigh. We have the starting 5 coming up next. We look at Canes Game 3. We look ahead to Canes Game 4. There's some NFL scheduling news and more. Stick around.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina Playoff Edition. It's Game 4 with Washington.
Svechnikov scores! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6. Puck Drop at 7.
They score! On the power play! And Roslovic back in the series and on the board.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
What? New scratch-offs are out? That means new chances to become a North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club member.
Yeah, in the Winners Club, I'll reinvent myself. I won't go by just plain Todd. I'll go by Toddrick. I'll get a gold jacket, play my saxophone again. I'll stop and smell the flowers, call my mom more.
Ugh, wrap it up, Todd.
It's Toddrick.
This month's scratch-offs pack over $100 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.35 to 4.58. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
First Horizon Stadium in Cary is the place to be galactic. The North Carolina Courage, the Triangle's premier professional women's soccer team, invites you to Star Wars Night, May 17th at 5 p.m. Grab Star Wars Night tickets at tickets.nccourage.com. May the courage be with you.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. We're close to crowning a hockey champion, and when I'm not calling playoff games around the country, the first thing I do when I'm back in the Triangle is head to Buffalo Brothers. The best wings on the planet, and a great place to watch all the big games. Visit all 5 Triangle locations for great specials, like half-price pizzas, Monday through Friday, 4:30 to 6, and a $6 Bloody Mary on Sunday. Dine in, carry out, get it delivered. BuffBrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hello, Scott Forbes, head baseball coach, University of North Carolina. When it comes to choosing a dealership, I stick with Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC. Growing up in Sanford, I've been fortunate to be lifelong friends with Will Wilkinson. My family and I have been buying and having our vehicles serviced at Wilkinson for many, many years. Great service, competitive prices, and most importantly, a place you can trust. Go where I go. Go see my longtime friend Will Wilkinson at Wilkinson, Chevrolet, Cadillac, Buick, GMC.
Are your monthly bills keeping you up at night? Worried about your finances in these crazy times? Hey, it's Dennis Cox for Loan Pronto. If you're like most people, you have racked up a sizable amount on your credit cards, and the monthly payment is not making a dent in it. It's time to call Loan Pronto. If you own a home, you have a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out all their credit card debt and cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. Look, you didn't mean to end up here, but you don't have to keep stressing about money. Call Loan Pronto for fast debt relief now. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Again, the website, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going,
gone! Go to ritchielaw.com.
That's ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Lenovo Studios. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm WRL meteorologist Mike Mays. Our soggy day continues this evening and overnight. 66 the low. Rain is likely, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. Showers and possible storms tomorrow. A noticeable drop-off, though. The high around 80.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb and Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell up 1,160 points to 42,410. Market update brought to you by the Body Armor State Games. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Greensboro. Don't miss out on North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Less than 2 hours now from the scheduled puck drop for Game 4.
Let's go.
Between the Carolina Hurricanes, the home team at the Lenovo Center, and the visiting Washington Capitals. I always like that when PA announcers do that. They're like, for some reason I remember the Sixers guy doing it when I was a kid real well, where it's like, 2 points from Allen Iverson. 2 points from Gary Payton. Like it was always just that. I always think that's funny. With that being said, it is time for the starting five on a Monday. Let's jump to number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now coming the other way, here's Tom Wilson. Wilson in on a break. Andersen with the save. Oh, Mr. Andersen tested early, 30 seconds in, and comes up with an A+ save.
That was from the 4-0 shutout win for the Carolina Hurricanes over the Washington Capitals, not the Cadapitals.
Them too.
The Capitals in
They
Game
also got
3.
shut out.
You want to talk about a sliding doors moment? Like if things go a different way, the whole thing could have changed. You get Tom Wilson with a good look 30 seconds into the game. If Freddie doesn't come up huge on that play, how different is that game? I don't even want to play that game. Because Freddie did come up massive, made the stop, made a couple more high-leverage stops in that first period, and the Canes scoring woke up with Seth in the second period, and the rest is history. Here's Rod Brindamore in the postgame, deciding Freddie was the difference in the win.
Really, that was the I think the key to our win tonight was that first period where, clearly they were on their game and we were a little on our heels. And it's what goaltending does. So he kept us in the game. And then I thought we got to it a little bit in that second half of the game, but it could have been a lot different if we're chasing it. So got to give Freddie. That might have been one of the better games he played for us, just with the actual, what's the magnitude of the game and what it means and how that impacted it the way he played.
I said this earlier. I think it's appropriate. I'm happy for Freddie that he was the spark. he was the thing that got the game going in a good direction for the Canes. I don't love that he had the opportunity to be the spark. Right? That first goal, the one we played, 30 seconds in, Tom Wilson, he got the save. I felt good about it. I was like, all right, Freddie's alive, makes a play, right? The nerves are shaken out. Good. Then he had to make like 3 or 4 more pretty darn quick, and I was going, all right, no, I don't want the goalie to be the spark anymore. I want someone else far away from your own goal to be the spark. Stop working Freddie so hard, and which they eventually did, and obviously, there were hits. There was Burns on Ovechkin. There was Martinook on Wilson. There were other plays that got everybody going into the goals being scored, and by the end, it was just good vibes and happy days. A 4-0 win. The crowd chanting Freddie was pretty darn cool at the Lenovo Center. So give them all their props. But a Game 3 win, 2-1 lead in the series, massive. You also have to darn near immediately put it in the rearview mirror and start looking towards tonight's game, which is part of the challenge, and we'll get to that later in the starting 5. That's number 5. Let's hit number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
I feel great about playing football right now.
We are starting because the NFL teases us. The first taste is free, right? And,
of course.
We're starting to get schedule leakouts.
Full schedule's supposed to come out Wednesday, by the way.
You're right, but they can't keep a secret that long.
They can't because they know us.
Cowboys at Eagles, the opener, Week 1, Thursday night, which has become a showcase for last year's Super Bowl champion against a famous team. That's what the Thursday has been, a draw. So with the Eagles winning, they're playing the Cowboys in Philly, 8:20 Thursday night. Open everything up. Should be a really fun one.
Yeah, big-time rival to start off the NFL season. Yeah, ratings are going to be through the roof.
The next day, Chiefs at Chargers. Some of these are rumored. Some of these are official. Some of these are leaked, whatever. So take it all with a grain of salt if you want. Chiefs at Chargers the next day from Brazil. So we're getting a Thursday, Friday to open the NFL season.
We saw Eagles-Packers last year in Brazil that Friday.
Hilarious because they went to Brazil, and one of like the offbeat storylines, I think it was Josh Jacobs was the one that said it. They told people not to wear green around the city in Brazil because apparently that would say you are repping something that you don't want to necessarily be repping. So I did think it's funny they sent the blue and yellow Chargers and the red and gold Chiefs. They're all right. If we're not allowed to wear green, we will not send any green teams just to make it easier. They're playing in Brazil, which, by the way, it's a Chargers home game. I was talking with some of the high school OT guys.
Yeah,
that's a bummer for the Chargers. They lose Chiefs at Chargers, which I'm sure rivalry, in division, obviously a famous team, big draw as a home game, and they play that in Brazil.
Yeah, it kind of stinks.
That's a bummer. Other games that have been rumored. A lot of the international games are being leaked. Week 5 on Sunday, Vikings versus Browns in London. That'll be breakfast football.
Okay.
The next week, Week 6, Broncos versus Jets in London. That'll be breakfast football. The next week, Week 7, Rams versus Jags. The Jags love London. That's breakfast football.
Well, the Cobb family that owns the Jaguars also owns, was it Fulham Football Club?
They own a football club.
But they also own Wembley Stadium.
Yes.
So that's the reason why they're like playing like a home game there, essentially.
There's a lot of rumors that, when there's the down part of the offseason that no one has anything to talk about, of the Jags maybe eventually becoming a London team. Because they play like away games there, home games there. They played back-to-back weeks one time out there in London. Week 10, there is a Berlin game, which I believe the Panthers played in, right?
Yeah, Panthers were Berlin.
So instead of breakfast and pancakes, it was like breakfast and schnitzel.
Brats, yeah.
Brats, there you go. I've been a bit of a better joke. That's Falcons-Colts, so no Panthers this year. In Madrid, we have Commanders-Dolphins. That is Week 11.
Wait, Madrid?
In Madrid.
I didn't realize we're going to Spain, too.
International game. Trying to get that dream team bump, I guess.
Clearly.
On Thanksgiving, obviously Lions and Cowboys don't know their opponents yet. Will be the first 2 games. We are just cruising along here. That might be all that we've been notified of. Yes, that's all that we know.
We're starting also to get some networks announcing college football stuff for the first few weeks of the season, including just 1 minute ago, Fox College Football posted on X, Week 1, Texas, Ohio State on Fox.
Not a bad
for
one.
Week 1.
Non-conference, not a bad one.
The Arch Manning experience, folks.
That's true, too. There's an entire conversation that we're going to have later in the week.
Yeah.
Of when college football gets started, will Bill Belichick be coaching UNC?
Well, there's that.
Because certain journalists have hypothesized that maybe not.
Let's rotate it back here to the NFL. Real quick question. How many primetime games do you think the Panthers will get this season? Like, scheduled initially? Because last year, I guess the Germany game, I guess, could be considered a prime time.
They aren't an international game this year.
Yeah.
1 or 2?
I think they get at least one.
A Thursday, I would say for sure.
A Thursday game, yeah.
And then maybe a Sunday nighter. Maybe.
I figured they're going to do it. They're going to put them early in the season. Well, in case they're still like a below 500 team.
They could also be the placeholder for a flex option where it's like, if you win 5 games before, week 8, we'll keep you there. If not, we'll find somebody else. So there's options. There's options there. But no, we don't have any set in stone for the Panthers yet. That's number 4. Let's hit number 3.
Evans has it. He'll launch and hit. Showtime Slim takes the lead to 13.
7 seconds ago, just to update you. This is how fast sports news moves. To update you on NFL schedules. 7 seconds ago, Adam Schefter tweeted out, Fox will air a Week 16 doubleheader on Saturday, December 20th, so a couple days before Christmas. Eagles at Commanders and Packers at Bears. Literally, it's leaking out as we speak. But that comes from Schefter, so it's probably pretty good. Number 3, Isaiah Evans, Duke. Returning to Duke. He has withdrawn from the NBA draft. He did put his name into the NBA draft. He will not be attending the NBA Combine. First of all, we all knew it. Like I've predicted it on air a bunch of times that he was just there to go through the process and learn, and he planned on and expected to come back to Duke. I'm not saying that as an I told you so. I'm saying it as a we all knew. Like, this is not breaking news. But I do like that he did it kind of early, because to me that means he learned what he wanted to learn. Right? I think you put your name, if you intend on coming back and you put your name into the draft, there's something you want to learn. You want to know what your draft projection is. You want to know what teams want you to work on. There's something you want to learn. And then once you feel good and satisfied that you know what you need to know, you take your name out and you go back to school and you start working on it. So Evans must have learned whatever he wants to learn. He's going back to Duke. There are still some interesting ones. Cedric Coward's still in there, a transfer who is committed to Duke, but I've seen creep into the back, very, very back of some first-round mock drafts, so maybe he's a riser that doesn't end up at Duke. I assumed he would, and I still assume he would, but maybe a little outside chance that he stays in the draft. And a bunch of others. There's still guys that'll take their name out for sure. You know who won't be taking their name out of the draft? Guys that are expected to be drafted during the lottery portion of the first round. That's number 3. Let's jump to number 2.
Just the two of us. Bounces one inside. Cooper stole it. Cutting in front. A chance to run. All the way to the other end. A duck of a lifetime. And he's fouled.
The Cooper Flag sweepstakes. You think it ends tonight, but really it starts tonight.
The Charlotte Hornets.
With a potential there. The NBA lottery is tonight. NBA lottery tonight. The 3 teams that finish with the 3 worst records in the NBA, thus giving them identical 14% chances at the number 1 overall pick, which might as well just say of Cooper Flag. Utah, Washington, and Charlotte. So there's a little Washington-Carolina battle going on multiple fronts tonight. If you're wondering what the chances are, Utah, Washington, Charlotte, the 3 bottom teams in the NBA, all have a 52.1% chance of having their pick land in the top 4. They all have a 14% chance of landing the number 1 overall pick. Following that, New Orleans has a 41.8% chance of landing in the top 4, 12.5% of getting the number 1 overall pick. I mean, it's the NBA has seriously de-incentivized tanking. Like, if you're looking at just the number 1 overall pick, which is Cooper Flagg, Philly, who finished 5th worst in the league, has 10.5. So the difference between being the worst team in the league and being the 5th worst team in the league is 3.5%. 3.5 out of 100 chance at getting the number 1 pick. Brooklyn, 6th best odds, 9%. Toronto, 7.5%. San Antonio, 6%. It really becomes, you hope for the best, but you really are just hoping not to be completely devastated. Because you can fall all the way back, I believe, to 7 if you are Charlotte.
Yeah, but no lower.
So you want the number 1. You kind of feel like you need the top 3. And you desperately don't want 7. Because that's just the way it goes. There are some protections on some of these picks. None for Charlotte, so we won't talk about it. I think, and we've seen it pretty up close and personal, I think Cooper Flagg is worth the hoopla. So if you're one of the teams that has a chance at the number 1 overall pick, or you're a fan of one of the teams, watch with nerves. There's a tier of 1. Then there's a tier of between 3 and 6 more, depending on who you are and how you evaluate. But that top tier to me is a tier of 1 of Cooper Flagg.
You know who's standing by most tonight, other than the front office for each of these teams?
Who's that?
It's the ticket sales staff. You know why? Because I guarantee they're all sitting there, man. If we get the number 1 overall pick, I'm going to get commissions on so many season ticket packages if I get Cooper Flagg. 100%.
Who do you send if you're Charlotte? Right, because I don't know why I remember this. There was a owner's son with the bow tie that was like lucky. Always sent him to the, I think it was the Cavs when they were getting all those first picks.
Okay.
Some send players, some send coaches to be your representative at the lottery. I always thought...
Send Muggsy, Bogues.
That's not a bad thought.
Yeah.
I always thought this, and it's a weird thing that I'm not superstitious, but it became a superstition for me. For coin tosses, I was captain of a bunch of teams in high school, and then I was captain for a while in college. I always went to an injured guy, and I said, like, channel all the energy you have into this game into heads or tails right now. And my winning percentage was through the roof. It was way higher than 50%. So for this, I would find like Mark Williams and be like, hey, man, your physical kind of did you in for a trade to the Lakers. We're sending you here. Channel all that anger, all of that vibe into winning the lottery and getting Cooper Flagg next to you.
Get Dave Canales to show up there. He'll bring all the positive energy. Send he and Bryce Young.
Jesper Fost. There's options. I just don't know. I always think it's funny. And a lot of times it's just the owner. Do you, if you're a Hornets representative, do you have like the custom suit jacket that has like Cooper Flagg's jersey on the inside, so if you win, you immediately go bang? I've seen that a few times, things like that. And then if you lose, obviously you can't take your jacket off the rest of the day. Then you have socks that say like Ace Bailey or something like that. I just kick stuff over. I don't know. That's another one. I don't know if you do, but it's cool if it works out that way. That's number 2. Let's hit number 1.
The 1! Now Svechnikov comes in off the drop, and he scores! Off the face-off! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Canes tonight, Game 4, home against the Caps. Canes lead 2-1, second round Stanley Cup playoffs. One of the themes will undoubtedly be, can the Canes match the desperation of Washington? Can the Canes match what will surely be a motivated, a prideful? Just because they're the rivals doesn't mean those things aren't true. I mean, we don't have to like them, but you can speak about their hockey. And physical team, they are going to bring, the term smoke them if you got them, right? Whatever ammo's in the chamber, let it fly. That's going to be Washington tonight. There is no tomorrow for them. If you lose to go down 3-1, I think everybody's going to see the writing on the wall. But if you win, new life, right? You get home ice back, all of those things. So the Canes have to match that. As we hear here from Seth Jarvis, this is what he thinks is the importance to have even more desperation in Game 4.
You got to up it. I think 3-1's definitely a big lead in a series, and so to have that going back into Washington would be really big. And I think everyone has the same idea of just taking a game at a time, but this game is definitely important.
Take it a game at a time. It's obviously important. You're darn right. All of that. You're darn right. But also bring the fire. Bring the energy. Jalen Chatfield from the blue line about ramping up the intensity even more to extend the lead to 3-1.
Another level of desperation to make it 3-1. Closing out any series or winning games in playoffs is tough, and we got to bring our best every game, every period, every shift. No breathers. That's a good team over there, and everybody's season's on the line. It seems like every game here. You don't want to give anything up. You don't want to have a bad shift that leads to a goal. So I think, full 60 on both teams. That should be the mindset for each and every guy to give it their all and play for each other.
All right, I've been waiting to do this because it is something that absolutely infuriated me over the weekend. The Canes play entertaining hockey. I don't know where or why. It might just be market bias. It might just be people don't like the Canes. I don't know. There was and it's gone on for a while, but it seemed to crescendo over the weekend, that the Canes Cap series is somehow ridiculously boring because the games haven't been 5-4. Because there's a premium on possessing the puck and playing great defense and trying to grind your opponent into a pulp. Matter of fact, I'm going to take it one step further. As somebody, I feel like I can use this, I used to be one. I did not grow up a diehard hockey fan. Matter of fact, part of my childhood was spent in Hawaii. And you may not believe this, but not a lot of rec ice hockey teams in Hawaii.
Never would have thought.
Yeah, crazy. So because of that, I came to hockey late after, growing up, I was football, basketball, baseball, football, basketball, baseball. Came to hockey late. One of the things I really like about hockey, because it's different than the other sports, is a chance feels so important. The intensity, it's it's so much more tight, wired. Right? And what I mean by that is, if I wanted to see just a boatload of scoring, I'd watch basketball. Right? Where there's going to be every time down, a dunk, a jumper, there's going to be a look at the end of most possessions to score. If I wanted that, I would watch basketball. I watch hockey because when you get the puck in deep, it's like if you score, that might be it. That might be enough. Right? The first 30 minutes of Game 3, and it's easy to say this in retrospect, so, call me a liar if you want. There were a lot of feelings of whoever scores first is going to win this game. There were feelings of whoever scores first, the floodgates might open for them, and the other team's going to stay frustrated, and that's exactly how it played out. The Canes make a goal a premium, which to me is like taking one of the best parts of hockey and pouring gasoline on it and making that fire burn brighter. If you want sloppy defense and 7-4, I find that almost trying to be other sports that I can fill that somewhere else, right? We just talked about the NFL schedule. If I wanted to see a whole bunch of opportunities to come back from a 10-point deficit, I'd watch football. In hockey, a comeback from down 3-0 feels so improbable that it makes it more fun. So, and everybody was saying it. I'm not going to single any out, although it's always fun to single out, Ryan Whitney. We've had a fun time going against some of his opinions. I don't get how that is seen by hockey lifers as not exciting when I'm watching it going, I'm new to hockey and I get the excitement of it. Right? You hear same thing with baseball. Like when there's a pitcher's duel, if you say it's boring, baseball lifers attack you with oh, you just don't appreciate the science behind a good backdoor change. And for some reason in hockey, I'm like, no, it's a low-scoring game. You're supposed to be convincing me that it's awesome. I'm not supposed to be convincing you that it's awesome. It's very frustrating. So I just wanted to get that off my chest. If this is a 1-0 game, I think it'll be the most exciting game of the series.
They wouldn't be bored if it was Washington doing it.
Exactly. And I don't know why. Because it's not like some of these guys that are doing it have they didn't grow up in the district. They're not like Ashburn, Virginia natives. They're from all over the place, Canada and stuff. You appreciate a good game. That's what I'm saying. The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We need to grab some numbers game contestants. We have a pretty sweet country concert going to the winner of the numbers game today. But before we grab those contestants, Tim Donnelly here for Mainer Service Company. It is a great time to start thinking about cooling maintenance. Right, we're going to have those days where it gets hot, then it cools down, then it gets hot, then it cools down, then it gets hot. And it's just going to stay there for a while. We all know how it is in North Carolina. The humidity will boost. I saw a particularly highly drafted rookie for the Carolina professional football team say at OTAs that he was getting used to the Carolina humidity. And all I saw in the comments was a bunch of people going, oh, if you think you have to get used to this, you better wait about 45 days. And then you'll get hit with, you're not used to anything today. But when that happens, you're going to be overworking your air conditioner, right? You're going to be overworking your HVAC, your cooling system. So the deal is get ahead of that, right? Get used to it now by calling Mainer Service Company to come out, do a checkup, check your system, test all the parts, make sure it's running well. So when you hit those long, humid stretches, you're confident that your system will be able to keep up with the demand. Cooling maintenance. Give them a call, Mainer Service Company. They'll hook you up. But also heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, all of it, all the time, 24/7 service all across the triangle, Mainer Service Company. The number to call, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or you can visit them online at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. We need those numbers game contestants. The prize, as I said, a pretty sweet country music concert. A pair of tickets to see Keith Urban, Chase Matthew, and Alana Springsteen at Coastal Credit Union Music Park coming up at the end of this month, May 31st. If you want to win the Keith Urban tickets, you have to call in now because the numbers game needs 2 contestants. The number to call, 919-860-5326. If you want to play the numbers game, if you want to win the tickets, 919-860-5326. Call in now. Numbers game next.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina Playoff Edition. It's Game 4 with Washington.
Svechnikov scores! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6. Puck Drop at 7.
They score! On the power play! And Roslovic back in the series and on the board.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.
Navy Federal Credit Union celebrates Military Appreciation Month in May. Whether you're active duty, a veteran, or a military family, we are all united this month to celebrate those who go above and beyond. As a credit union created for the military community, Navy Federal takes special care to ensure that our members feel celebrated and honored every day and every May. So from all of us at Navy Federal, happy Military Appreciation Month. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Navy Federal is insured by NCUA.
It's back. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards May 16th through the 18th. And it's bringing the largest inventory and deepest discount of the year. Save thousands off top brands, on-site financing to get you approved and on the water, boats in stock and priced to move now. Test ride your boat at delivery. Get in a new boat or upgrade in time for summer. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale, May 16th through 18th at the Car Scott Building in Raleigh, featuring Suzuki Outboards.
The playoffs are in full swing, and you can get in on all the action at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code JOEQ. That's JOEQ to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
FX presents Welcome to Wrexham.
For the last 4 years, it's been this roller coaster of magic.
The Emmy Award-winning series returns.
Come on, Wrexham!
With an all-new season.
We're going into a really tough division.
Birmingham are absolute favourites with the arrival of Tom Brady.
It's a friendly competition. Oh! Well, not so friendly.
Imagine the opportunity to beat Tom Brady at sports.
FX's Welcome to Wrexham premieres May 15th on FX. Stream on Hulu.
It's bow time. Yep, it's eating time again. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. But if you're tired of cooking, or tired of sorta cooking, it's time to feed the whole family with Bojangles Fried Chicken Family Meal. With Bojangles' famous chicken, fixins, biscuits, and tea, you can forget the cookbook and spend some well-earned quality time with a delicious dinner from Bojangles. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing for some of that bodacious Bojangles flavor. Satisfy your craving for flavor and your passion for boneless chicken with Bojangles 4-piece Supremes Dinner. 4 perfectly seasoned, Cajun-fried, whole breast tenderloin fillets. Choice of fixin', a made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuit, and Bojangles' legendary iced tea. When you're hungry for flavor and value, it's bow time.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. Today we have the Keith Urban tickets later this month on the line, going to either Dave in Apex or Bear in Clayton. They will battle it out with jersey numbers to find out who gets tickets. But first, I will give them both the same question. Dennis will pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first. Dave in Apex, are you ready to answer?
Yes, sir.
All right, the question is, it is a Monday, which means the weekend just ended. What was your favorite part of the past weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
Had to be Svechnikov's goal, man. That aggression, setting the tone for the rest of that game.
All right. I like it. I like the specificity, too, not just the canes. It was Svech's goal, second period, off the face-off. No questions? No follow-ups? All right, that brings us to Bear and Clayton. Bear, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Same question to you. It is a Monday, so your weekend just wrapped up. What was the highlight of your weekend? But because we're a sports show, keep it sports related.
Well, big Timberwolves fan, so it had to be the Game 3 win on Saturday, and then we got a big Game 4 tonight. So,
all right.
Trying to take that 3-1 lead.
Sounds good. I have a feeling I know which ways Dennis is going to go, but congratulations to your Timberwolves on a win. Dennis, who gets the nod?
A big win for the Wolves there, but I'm going to keep it local here. I'm going to go with Dave on this one. That Svech goal, like I said, help turn everything around.
Svech, what a guy. Dave and Apex, you get to go first. Are you ready to pick your category?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories are NFL players from the 2023 NFL draft class, NFL players from the 2017 draft class, NBA players that were all at some point in time Kevin Durant's teammates, or NHL players, Hurricanes only?
NFL 2017 draft class.
All right. Definitive with your pick. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Nope. Let's go.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers.
81.
Incorrect. Kareem Hunt, Kansas City Chiefs.
29.
Correct. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
18.
Incorrect. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers.
80.
Incorrect. Chris Godwin, Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
12.
Correct. Leonard Fournette, Jacksonville Jaguars.
28.
Incorrect. George Kittle, San Francisco 49ers.
Pass.
Taylor Moton, Carolina Panthers.
No idea.
Guess something.
31.
Incorrect. I'm not doing this to rag on you, but there's a lesson there. Just say a number, right? Saying I have no idea doesn't make us go to the next guess. You have to say a number there.
I thought you'd circle back to Fournette. Sorry.
You got 2, correct? Is that what we're looking at? You got 2. George Kittle, we were looking for 85, so you were around it. Kareem Hunt, we would have accepted 27 or 29 during his multiple years with the Chiefs. Godwin, we would have accepted 12 or 14. Leonard Fournette, we were looking for 27 with the Jags, and Moton with the Panthers, 72 is what we were looking for. Those are the answers. 2, I would say similar, maybe not super solid, but solid enough to give you a chance. Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. That brings us to Bear and Clayton. Bear, are you there?
Yes, sir.
All right, the categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players from the 2023 draft class, NBA players that were Kevin Durant's teammate at one time or another, or NHL Hurricanes only.
23 draft class.
All right. I'll give you the team and the players. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. 1 pass if you need it. You need at least 3 for the win. Any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Bryce Young, Carolina Panthers.
9.
Correct. C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans.
7.
Correct. Zay Flowers, Baltimore Ravens.
4.
Correct. Sam Laporta, Detroit Lions.
87.
Correct. Jackson Smith and Jigba, Seattle Seahawks.
11.
Correct. What is going on lately?
Let's go.
How many days in a row with a perfect score is that?
That's 5. 5 shows in a row.
Goodness
Going full
gracious.
Booker T with this thing.
That is absurd. By the way, I'm happy for you, Bear. I am flabbergasted by just our listeners, but happy for you, Bear in Clayton. What was the time?
That was 21 and a half seconds.
21 and a half seconds. Not a record, but a great time. Bear, congratulations. You are the winner.
Thank you, sir.
You get the tickets to see Keith Urban and crew, Chase Matthew and Alana Springsteen at Coastal Credit Union Music Park on May 31st. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab some info for you.
All right, TD. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, as you as well.
By the way, that is since we started the numbers game a couple years ago, that is the 51st time someone has gotten 5 for 5.
Wow.
51st.
And just a week ago, we were at 46.
Yeah, I know. This is the 51st time we've had someone get a 5 for 5. Now, we've had people like Micah get multiple times.
True.
But the 51st time that we've gotten a 5 for 5.
So it's 51st time, not 51st person.
Yes, just 51st time.
So it's probably in the upper 30s, I'd guess. I'd say we probably have 10 double up people that have done it more than once.
Yeah, I know Micah's done it like 4 times.
So it might be less than that. It might be
or
lower
5.
30s.
Sorry, Michael will correct me, I'm sure.
I got a perfect score 5 times, perfect 5-5. No, that's we're looking at like probably 33 roughly people that have had perfect scores, and we've been doing this now for a long time.
I think since last year when we did Numbers Game Live, I think we've had 20. I think that's now the 23rd person that has gotten like unique, like 23rd individual has gotten a perfect score since we did Numbers Game Live last year.
Which is a bit skewed by the last 5 days. That's like saying, that's like after you have a hat trick saying like in the last 5 games I've averaged a goal and a half per game. It's like
we're on a Miko Rantanen heater right now.
It's gonna throw off averages is what we're doing right now. But hey, shout out to Bear, another perfect score. And I thought for sure when you come on and you're just casually thrown out there that you're a big Timberwolves fan, I thought for sure as far as category he was going to go NBA, because if you're a Timberwolves fan, you're in deep. But no, he went NFL, knocked it out of the park. Only thing he even stumbled on a little bit was Jackson Smith and Jigba, and that may have been because I stumbled through saying his name because it's a hard name. I actually had a hard time pronouncing all of them today. Tampa Bay Buccaneers gets me every time. It feels like in the middle you just go like bubba. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I do my best for everybody out there, just so you know. Always trying. Little housekeeping here. Coming up in 20 minutes, we'll be turning over 99.9 The Fan to Adam Gold for Stormwatch. He will have a 1-hour pregame show from the Lenovo Center, getting you set up for everything that you need to know before puck drop for Game 4, which is at 7 o'clock. You can hear it right here on 99.9 The Fan. And for those of you that couldn't get tickets, you tried and you couldn't, I do want to remind you, if you get a little tired of the national television broadcast, feel free to grab your smart speaker, your phone, something that streams. Tune into 99.9 The Fan, could be our stream or our over-the-air, and play Mike Maniscalco and Trip Tracy and the broadcast that you've come to know and love and we've come to know and love. Just time it up with the you can time it up with the picture you're seeing and get the what I think, the superior Canes product from Mike and Tripp and everybody that puts on that broadcast, rather than listening to, no disrespect to the national broadcast, but they don't know the Canes like we know the Canes.
Yes, if you want to hear the Washington Capitals broadcast, turn up your television. If you want to hear the Canes broadcast, tune in here to 99.9 The Fan. Pretty simple.
Oh, that was funny. That was well played, Dennis. Well played,
I'm just speaking facts over here.
Well played,
That's what we deal with.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We'll make our picks for Game 4, but first, Dennis Cox has some info for you.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Loan Pronto. Folks, your monthly bills keeping you up at night. Maybe you're worried about your finances in these crazy times. If you're like most people, you've racked up a sizable amount on your credit cards, and the monthly payment simply isn't making a dent. It's time to give Loan Pronto a call. If you own a home, you have a super easy way to get tens or even hundreds of thousands in cash. Loan Pronto has lots of options for helping you tap into the equity in your home and get the cash you need to get back on solid footing. Most homeowners who do this end up wiping out all their credit card debt and cutting their monthly expenses by $1,000. Look, you didn't mean to end up here, but you don't have to keep stressing about money. Give Loan Pronto a call for fast debt relief now. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. 919-381-1760, loanpronto.com. Again, the website, loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will make our picks for Game 4. Second round Stanley Cup playoff matchup between the Canes and the Caps. Coming up next.
The Carolina RV Super Show is coming to you. Join us at any Camping World in North Carolina or South Carolina, May 15th through the 18th, to shop ridiculous discounts on the best selection of new and used RVs in the Carolinas. Tour new 2025 RVs starting as low as $92 a month. Enter to win a new RV and enjoy family fun and on-site activities. Don't miss the Carolina RV Super Show at your local Camping World, May 15th through the 18th. Get all the details at campingworld.com/Carolina RV Super Show.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. TNCs apply.
The success you've already had matters at University of Maryland Global Campus because we're a school for real life. An accredited state university, UMGC lets you earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning, life, and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer affordable tuition and online and hybrid courses. No application fee if you apply by May 30th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hear that? That's the sound of digital instants from the North Carolina Education Lottery. With instant wins, progressive jackpots, and bonus games right from your phone. It's nonstop chances to win like you've never seen or heard before. Oh, yeah! Big money! Visit nclottery.com to get in on the action. Must be 18 to play. See prize and odds charts at nclottery.com/digital-instants for details. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The golf season is here. Time to upgrade your game. Head to Global Golf and explore Carolina's largest selection of pre-owned golf clubs. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned player, our expert staff will get you fit. Are you ready to trade in your current clubs? Global Golf makes it easy to trade in your previously played equipment and upgrade to your next set of clubs. Visit Global Golf today, located on 7320 ACC Boulevard, North Raleigh. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf.
Tired of hearing this from your local tire place?
Sorry, we can't fix it. Take it to Dauntless.
This year, skip the middleman and take your car straight to Dauntless Transmissions if you want quality work done right the first time. Transmissions, engine, or brake work, or just a regular tune-up. If it's broke, Dauntless will fix it. For quality work done with the kind of experience that works for you, take it to Dauntless Transmissions first. Go to DauntlessTransmissions.com to book your visit today. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Played off here, Jarvis. Goss to spare, tees it up. High side of the net. Blake tries to chance, and he scores! Jackson Blake deflects it past Logan Thompson. And another power play goal. And it's 4-0 Carolina.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We've been told, we always assume, but we've been told for certain there are some of Canes faithful. We wish we could have been out there with you today, are in the parking lot listening to the show. Normally for home postseason games on show days, we're out there on the plaza with you. And I would have suggested that we're not going to melt. We're not made of sugar. We could have been out there in the rain. Unfortunately, radio equipment, I guess it might be made of sugar. Like you can't actually have it in the rain.
Yeah, you can't.
So we had to bring it into the studio, but we will be making our way out there. We do want to see Canes fans. We are thankful that those of you that are braving the weather are listening into the show. Let's go Canes.
Freddie just called in. Freddie called in from the parking lot.
Not that Freddie.
Not that Freddie. not the Freddie, but a different Freddie.
Freddie, if it was that Freddie, I was like, listen. Lock in. Go focus.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what are you doing? You have morning skate off for a reason.
Yeah, actually, if it is part of your routine, whatever you did for Game 3, do it again. We appreciate everyone out there listening.
What if that was his routine? I just call into the radio show and be like, hey, just what's up, guys?
Hey, guys. Can we talk about something other than hockey? I'm trying to get my mind off of it.
It's like, hey, who's winning the draft lottery tonight?
What do you think? What do you think happens if the Hornets get the third pick? No. Lock in. Do whatever you got to do, Freddie, to bring Game 3 Freddie to Game 4. With that being said, we have to make our picks. I've got some props that I like. Dennis, you always set some up, and we pick some over-unders. Let's go ahead and start us off. Get us ready for Game 4.
Okay, the over-under, 5.5 goals tonight. Just over-under as 5.5 goals.
I mean, at this point, I'm just going to be wrong 100 times. Give me the over.
All right.
There are too many good goal scorers to not have any goals go, not have any games go 4-3, like 5-2. Like, there's too many good goal scorers to not have it happen. So, yeah, give me the over. I'll probably be wrong again, but I can't quit this bet.
Okay, shots on goal today. They have the over-under for Alex Ovechkin set at 3.5. Now, the over 3.5 is a plus 126.
Can I get even juicier than that?
Sure.
I am banking today on heavy usage, high aggression, bloodthirst from the top line of Seth, Jarvis, Aho. If you parlay 4 or more shots on goal for all 3 of them, plus 2,000. I want that line out there often. I want those guys on power play hunting. I want them hunting for shorties when they're out there on the PK. I want those 3, like, you got yours, cool. I want mine. I want all 3 of them being aggressive. Plus 2,000 for all 3 of them to have 4 or more shots on goal.
Give me those names one more time.
Just the line, Svet, Jarvis, Aho.
For all? Okay. So 12-plus shots we're looking at between those guys.
Yes. Off rebounds, knock a couple of them out on one possession. I want a ton of shots on goal. Take that, Thompson.
Yeah, seriously. Okay, that's...
By the way, like, There's a reason it's plus 2,000. It's more what the bet represents than what the bet is.
Okay.
I want those three wildly aggressive. Svech, you keep doing what you're doing. I think you've been doing a good job of it. But Jarvis and Aho, I want to see a little avocado selfishness.
All right, there it is. That's just you're just wishing that one into existence.
90% of what my bets are.
All right, let's go to goalie props here. Frederik Andersen, over under 21.5 saves in this one. He had a 21 save shutout back on Saturday. 21.5 saves over under. The line is equal. It's a minus 115 on both.
This is one, again, I've been wrong on this a few times. I guess the under.
Okay.
I just as a, like the Canes, I mean the blue liners, but also the forwards have been doing a great job getting back checking like they should, all those sorts of things. There's multiple plays a game where I just go like, gosh, people don't realize how good of a defensive forward Seth Jarvis is. And there's so many things like that where they're getting involved. Slavin, I mean, just unbelievable timing. I'll put it this way. My heart is saying over because I think Washington's going to be wildly desperate. And the best period they played really was the first period of Game 3.
Okay.
And they were getting shots up. They were out shooting the Canes in that period, so I think they might try to go back to that. So my heart is saying more, but my brain is saying, like, how many times are you going to get this bet wrong, take the under. So there you go. I guess I'm leaning with my brain on this one.
Okay, here's another one for you. Over under total points. Sebastian Aho, 0.5. Over being
0.5?
Yeah, for okay. Over under a half a point. So minus 198. But if you want to go 2+ points by Sebastian Aho, it's a plus 250.
Give me the plus 250. I'm on that line being productive today. Like, that's my bets will rise and fall with that line. That's what I'm rolling with.
All right.
Give me Jarvis anytime goal scorer plus 180. Give me Svech 2 or more points plus 320. Like that group, I think needs to have a big game. So I'm wishing it into existence. You know what? Slavin needs to have a big game.
Yeah.
Two or more blocks is plus money, plus 100 for Slavin. I need him getting blocks. Slavin, one or more point, plus 190. Like give me the top guys to play like top guys today. Do you need an emotional hedge?
Yeah, I do actually.
Carolina under 0.5 goals in the first period is plus 150.
Oh wow.
They haven't done it yet in this series.
Neither team has.
So a complete emotional hedge, right? Because I desperately want a first period goal for the Canes. Maybe throw a couple shekels on the under there, and that way, if you're mad and angry that it doesn't happen, at least you get paid for your frustration. Do you realize how much you have to give on a adjusted spread to get plus money on the Canes?
It's like 2.5.
You'd have to give Canes minus 2.5 will get you to plus 175, plus 175. Minus 1.5 is minus 105. At least it was prior to the show when I was placing these.
They're a heavy betting favorite tonight.
I had a friend from Washington text me and said, I haven't really been paying attention, so they acknowledged their, ignorance, I guess. Why are the Canes such massive favorites when Washington was the number 1 seed? And I was like, well, home. You watch the last couple of games.
Matchup.
It's there. Like I don't think it's some super duper uber complicated numbers behind the numbers thing. Dennis, lead us off. Final score prediction, not final scorer. Final score or final scorer if you want. Who scores the last goal for the Canes?
3-2 Carolina.
So you're taking the under on the 5.5.
3-2. Yep.
Who's the player that becomes the story?
It's Taylor Hall. Yeah. It's my first goal score prediction. Taylor Hall.
Sebastian Aho's the story. I predicted so many points. It has to be like 5-2. So 5-2 Canes. Adam Gold, Stormwatch coming up next. The game immediately to follow at 7 o'clock. Get pumped up, everybody. Canes, game 4 tonight. Hockey night in Carolina. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody.
It's Hockey Night in Carolina playoff edition. It's Game 4 with Washington.
Svechnikov scores! Carolina strikes first. It's 1-0 Hurricanes.
Storm Watch with Adam Gold at 6. Puck Drop at 7.
They score! Oh, in the series and on the board.
On your exclusive home for the Carolina Hurricanes, 99.9 The Fan.